You take this to remember night. You take this, you always remember. You take this to remember night. You take this, you always remember. Boy, oh boy, cookies look so yummy. Oh boy, cookies look so yummy.
Don't you do it. Don't you fucking do it. Don't you do it. Don't you fucking do it.
Me know what me have to do.
No,
Quick, me have crazy plan to do stuff with pizza. You probably think omelette. You go fruity tooty, fresh fruity.
No.
Fruity tooty, fresh fruity.
If somebody sends me an email of like, hey, here's a song I wrote, I'll be like, hey, man, if I get some time, I'll check this out. I always say, if I get some time, I'll check it out. And then I delete the email immediately.
If I actually told the truth, that's what makes me a bad person.
I had Madonna comment on one of my... I commented on one of her posts, and then I got it wasn't a comment. I got a heart.
From Madonna?
From Madonna.
The social media? Which platform?
I said it was Instagram, and she said, like, she put some post up about something, and I said, look at you, fudge ass. And I got a heart. I got a heart.
I've talked to an old man in marketing that some other company hired, and they're like, this old man's in working in marketing.
How many impressions are you getting?
Oh, God. So, you know, he was a head sales guy of the Miami Herald in 1984.
You need more
like,
phones.
What the fuck? And just, you're like, what? This guy has no idea about it. Like, I have no idea about what's happening on TikTok, and like things are changing so fast. This old man has no idea.
I had a Birdine's ad that was showcased right across the page from Mary Lou Retton winning the gold medal in '84.
Before the tragic day. Yeah.
And so and this kind of brings me to UCF and stuff, where like traditional university education seems to me antiquated as soon as they're teaching it, because things are changing so quickly. Like I see people that are getting marketing degrees at UCF and whatever.
Yeah, they're
and
so
then I'm
behind. They're like,
what are
Snapchat 101, Snapchat.
Like, what are you are learning from a 58-year-old professor that learned what from who, how many years ago?
Yeah.
Like, he's teaching you 10-year-old information?
Yeah.
Like, it's useless.
Listen, I could go on a bender just about traditional education system. I do like university and college for one reason, and that's consistency. You can show up, you can take an exam, you learn how to basically process a day, if you will, and you're accountable, and you can see something through. And like when you ask like what's one of the biggest pieces of advice like you can give like a new startup, it's showing up. Shit's gonna get hard, shit's gonna be easy, but it's the hard days where you don't want to show up, and those are usually the days when they're the worst, and those are usually the days that break companies. Like, you have to be willing to be a firefighter and problem solver, because your job is not to be afraid of the problems and of the fires. You should embrace them. Every day something like a new adventure comes along. Don't fear them, because the shit's gonna happen. I mean, you guys know business is not easy. There's challenges every day. You know, so I tell people, don't be afraid of those. Yeah.
Scare the shit out of me. I didn't know any of this.
I thought it was.
All I heard, I checked out. He's like, you got to be a firefighter. I was like, firefighter is fucking scary.
I'm afraid of heights.
I'm out of here. This place catches on fire. This computer can melt to the fucking floor. I'm out of here.
Did you ever have parents that, like, you wanted to be a certain costume and your parents tried to make it at home instead of buying the actual thing? And the example I'm going to use is it was like 1993 or whatever, and Dennis Rodman, actually I guess it would be 96.
You wanted to be Dennis
He was on
Rodman.
the Bulls. I wanted to be Dennis Rodman, so I wanted to dye my hair, you know, have the makeup and the earring and stuff.
That makes sense.
It does. Black and white pervert.
But I wanted to get a Chicago Bulls Rodman jersey, and my parents didn't want to spend the money for that, so they just got me a Chicago Bulls generic t-shirt, but it had Michael Jordan's number on it.
Just as good. Just as good.
I gotta tell you some inside shit. That fucking wheel is heavy. I think I fucking threw my shoulder out trying to. That's why when I spin, it just went tick, tick, tick. And then go. My shit was like because that fucking wheel is heavy, and I'm short, and they got a thing that'll make
that white bitch to stand there and spin the wheel.
I know that bitch was spinning that motherfucker like it was a roulette wheel.
Spin the wheel, bitch.
I won $30,000 for Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Nice.
And I did pretty well. There was a lot that was cut out because I was being funny and a little low key inappropriate. I would get on bankrupt and I'd be like, Pat, it's because I'm black, isn't it? And then later Pat would say it's because you're black, Lunel. They cut all that shit out.
Your turn is over. I'm sorry.
This is, you know what, Pat?
Like at 47 years of age, I'm having to fight the urge.
They wanted to do it as to one set a world record, and then maybe raise money for charity because they were doing it's like,
Oh my God, that's a lot of balloons.
That looks like an alien spaceship. Hold on.
1.5 million.
Yeah.
It's really cool looking.
I like. This is why I like the 80s, because no one ever in this whole promotion
What
said
about
like
the animals?
or just said, "Hey, we're
This
just
could be a problem.
we're just littering in the sky. We're just releasing millions
Plastic.
of rubber balloons into the sky, and then saying like, see you later."
They release it in the sky. It's like a plume of.
Dude, this is awesome.
Yeah.
So much better than animals.
Well, so it backfired severely for exactly what Tom was talking about, where you are just littering in the sky. So
This is fantastic.
These morons raised us. I was riding around University Club near UCF on my dirt bike with a cone on my head.
I've seen that.
For a character I like to call Conehead.
I had Madonna comment on one of my. I commented on one of her posts, and then I got it wasn't a comment. I got a heart.
From Madonna?
From Madonna.
The social media? Which platform?
I said it was Instagram, and she said, like, she put some post up about something, and I said, look at you, fudge ass. And I got a heart. I got a heart.
I saw one the other day where she pulled it, or like shorts to the side.
I don't think I was that talented. I think I would shit my shorts sideways,
and
dude.
then she just shot a logorrhea out onto the floor.
A logorrhea?
Yeah. Where it was like somehow.
That's a combo log and diarrhea.
I don't practice
Hello. That one's been getting a lot of rotation lately. Holy smokes. Cadillac Pat in the building, everybody. He's over there. Everybody loves a pinball machine. That motherfucker is addicting. Everybody loves the pinball machine. And this dude's trying to steal my fucking records.
I'm getting it first try.
Close.
Yeah, you did.
Well, he's got a pinball machine in his house.
Had he had both of his other balls like this first ball, he'd have crushed me.
Oh, yeah.
You'd have crushed me.
That first one was
The
pretty
first
good.
ball, that was a fantastic ball. That's what I had with Ross. That's the worst part of pinball. Where Ross and I were standing there, he's standing by me. My first ball, I think I got like 95,000 on my first ball.
Yeah.
And we're like, well, I'm definitely going to rule everything.
Yeah.
I think I got 1 million the second ball and 250,000 the third ball.
Well, you need to learn the little nuances to get all the points.
Yeah,
I learned
know.
that my uncle, my dad's cousin, not really my uncle.
You have
my
to
dad,
learn the machine.
Yes, my dad's cousin had the craziest score on his taxi driver 1 year ago because
the taxi driver one's a good.
yeah.
That's a good machine.
yeah, he knew how to get all the points.
I blame the pinball dudes. I blame them.
I don't even know how to
In a
get
good
points
way.
on mine.
In a
Mine,
good
I
way,
just
but I
drunkenly just play it.
I think
don't
I
know.
want one now.
Oh, dude, you get one.
And
They're-
there's no, I'm Andrew. Let me get a damn pinball.
You know-
machine.
you know,
I don't
they have-
need one now. I'll play this one.
They have those emulator ones. If you've been to there's a bar in Sanford that's got one right there by Sanford Brewing. It looks like a pinball machine, but it's just it's a screen and it looks 3D. The emulation makes it look 3D, and you can put the skin of any like 400 different like famous pinball machine skins on it, and you play it, and it's got vibration. It feels like a pinball machine.
I don't know about
Not
skins.
as good.
It's not as-
I need the metal ball.
Yes.
A musket ball.
Yeah,
Yes.
like the pinball dudes, like they'll come over and they'll disassemble it. He'll take the balls and wipe them down. I like that.
Yeah, I've opened mine up to dust the little rails.
Clean it all
Yeah.
out. Make sure the lights are tight.
And mechanical.
Wipe
It's-
it down.
Yeah.
It's got real lights
Yeah.
and not just CGI.
Yeah, that's what
I don't like the
yours is
CGI
nicer.
graphics.
Yours is faster than mine because mine's from '91. Mine's the newer, the nicer the machine. But I have a guy that fixes stuff. So if you ever need somebody to fix, well, I guess those guys would fix
We got a
yours,
guy,
but-
SJ.
Yeah, I got
No, we got the pinball dude.
SJ is our.
The
No, I mean,
per-
for
the per-
fixing stuff. I'm not going to ask the pinball dudes to fix our lights.
Yeah.
But
no,
SJ,
yeah,
I think he could fix anything.
I got a guy that fixes all my machines.
I wonder if SJ heard my. I gave you a title. You're the official handyman, because you fixed our ice machine and then you fix like computer programs for me, which is.
Oh, so he does it all. Yeah.
I think he can do
The
anything.
digital handyman.
Yeah.
He loves to say that. Okay, that's an inside joke.
I'm a handyman though. Like in life, I'm good at.
Write
fixing
that down.
things.
Write that down. I don't think we've.
How
ever
good
done-
are you?
I'm pretty good. I fixed everything in my house over every.
I've seen your house.
It's like Pee Wee Herman's Playhouse.
Yeah.
ice
Yeah,
machines,
it's like,
refrigerator,
it's like,
dryers,
the refrigerator's
washing
broken. I think I'll
machine.
wrap it in
I
pool
fixed
noodles
the-
and spray paint it.
My washing machine I've fixed multiple times. Dryer fixed multiple times. Ice machine in my fridge.
Let's talk about this.
That's pretty
AC. I've fixed my AC. Like I'm good at.
You do HVAC stuff?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Electrical. I'm good because when you own a house too, you get good at that
So
stuff.
you can do everything but repair
I didn't.
relationships.
Daniel did.
Yeah.
You took my awesome joke.
Yeah, that was a good one, Daniel. Actually, I'll let you.
Mean. That was very
save
mean.
that. That was good.
It was mean.
No,
It
but
was
it
very
means
mean. You had no business saying
no.
that to
That's
my
a
friend.
good joke though. I don't
You're my
care.
friend.
I don't mind that joke.
All right. Would you like to start, Mr. Tom?
Yeah.
Where's this going?
This is
Monday.
January. No. This
No.
is way in
No,
the
I
future.
know.
This
Yeah.
is 2025.
Yeah,
Which
that's
is
cool,
going to
that's
make your
fine.
clothing look older.
We're airing this now
Good.
officially a quarter of a century from the 90s.
Oh, I like that
Yeah.
too.
Okay. You start. Here we go. 3, 2.
Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. We are live on Twitch and YouTube. If you like watching podcasts, if you want to watch ours, we would love it if you liked and subscribed. Just search for @Tom and Dan Live on Twitch and @Tom and Dan Live. Every social media, we are @Tom and Dan Live.
And if you are listening to the podcast of this show or to the terrestrial radio version of the show, our next guest is officially, right now, a quarter century away from the 90s.
Yeah, absolutely.
And is the considered? Don't they consider 25 years a classic car?
Antique, yeah.
Like an
absolutely. You
antique?
can get a blue plate.
I have one.
You can get a blue plate.
Cadillac Pat's on the show.
Hey, you
How
want to
you
hear your
doing,
theme
Pat?
song?
Yes.
I like your theme song. Here we go.
Yes.
All right, it's 90s hip hop. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Where you at? Where you at? It's Cadillac Pat. Where you at? Where you at? It's Cadillac Pat. He dresses like the 90s, though he's 50 years old. Tracksuit and vintage Nikes in a color so bold. He'll give up, his relationship can't ever be told. Cause with Cadillac Pat, the Lord be breaking the mold. Where you at? Where you at? It's Cadillac Pat.
They didn't have a singles night. Some boats have single person night. Solo cruisers. I'm like, yo, we're going to this. 5 Indian guys talking. Yeah.
He dresses like the 90s, though he's 50 years old. Tracksuit and vintage Nikes in a color so bold. He'll give up, his relationship can't ever be told. Cause with Cadillac Pat, the Lord be breaking the mold. Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at?
Here you go. Cadillac Pat's new theme song.
Wow.
Hey, it's adding now clips of the show on.
Oh, yeah.
That is, wow. I feel very special. That
Like
was
I
very
have,
nice.
like I've been learning that if you want to trick people into thinking that you're doing something more than you are, because you're literally doing nothing.
Yeah.
And don't let anyone even trick you. Well, I write good lyrics. I can
Yeah,
write good lyrics.
yeah,
I'm
I
good.
know.
I'm a good lyricist. I always have been. But that's all I'm doing. Everything else, I don't even understand it. I literally don't understand it. It's as if I took it's like an effervescent, like a what do you call this?
Alka-Seltzer?
Alka-Seltzer, and I put it in water and it disappears. I have no idea how it works. It's magic to me. It's magic.
So Pat has brought some stuff to
Yeah,
show us. But
yeah.
before we get to that, I started thinking about the 90s,
Mm-hmm.
and I was doing some research, and there's a bunch of stuff written about how the 90s was the last decade that fully, I guess, some people like this article I read was calling it the last greatest decade. In like
Nobody always
in
do
cultural
that, though.
history.
I mean, weren't they doing that in the 40s, and then they'll do it again in the 60s?
Yeah,
and-
but the argument was because it was the last decade before we fully went internet and social media.
Okay, yeah.
And so there's things about the 90s that could never happen again, which is obviously we weren't all connected by social media, and the internet was,
we knew of
we
it.
had the
Yeah,
internet,
yeah.
but we used it for directions and information and encyclopedia. Like it wasn't spreading misinformation and
right,
like
fighting with each other.
there were
Yeah.
certain things.
Automation.
AOL was around, so the beginning of human connectivity, but it wasn't obviously what it was. But it was, and then after that, there's no generation that will ever
Be without it.
be without it, and even have anything like
Oh, there's your movie.
the 90s because
There's
of that.
your movie, EMP, global disaster, and the internet goes out.
Oh, and they
Okay,
need me
But
to save the day.
No, but not
'cause I
everybody
know.
freaks out. We just live.
Okay, all right. Well,
Because like most
they'll
movies,
freak out.
They will. But I mean, like everybody
It'll
wants to
be
make
doomsday.
it like doomsday. But what if it wasn't?
Well-
what if everybody's just like, "Whoa, this sucks," but all right, I'll go chop some wood.
It's soon.
I mean,
now-
everybody, the lights go out, and everybody starts raping. Is that how he's?
No.
Is that what we do? Because I'm not like
I
that.
hope not. I hope
I'm
not.
not like that. I
No.
mean, just because somebody disagrees with me, I'm sorry, got to kill you.
Well,
Yep, that's the way we do it now.
There's no wood for chopping, and everybody will starve to death.
Yes.
Because we need grocery stores. We cannot
Yes.
there's no hunting. There's no more animals.
I could kill a couple.
Yeah, no,
I'll
no,
get,
no.
I'll get a squirrel or something.
Yeah. But
I'll
anyway,
eat my dog. I would eat my dog.
regardless, that only gets you
No,
so
you
far.
yeah, it won't be one meal. That
I
little
could,
thing.
I could never eat him. I love him too much. I'd let him eat me. I'd let him eat me.
They will too. Dogs,
So-
cats eat you first. Though.
I think Dansby would eat my face if I died.
But it is interesting that those of us who grew up in the 90s, I guess growing up just depends on what age you're talking about.
Yeah.
But like I was born in 82, so I spent
You're a mid-90s guy.
basically 10 to
Adulthood.
to 20 in the 90s, and so I kind of feel like I was a teen during the 90s. Like all the culture did affect me more
have
than
a
the
favorite-
80s culture. I think Daniel more probably early 90s, but you're dipping to
Man,
late 80s.
I got
right?
some late 80s, yeah. Which is weird because late 80s is, I would, in my opinion, completely different than 90s.
Yes, yeah.
I think it's completely different.
It's back
Like
when,
I look at Huey Lewis in the news, I think like 86 to 88. That's a different
yeah.
vibe than peak like 93.
Although things from decades do bleed over to the early 90s is basically
Yeah.
late 80s, and same thing
Like
with
the
early
skinny
2000s.
necktie. The skinny necktie started in the late 80s and then blended its way into the 90s.
Another argument I read in this article pre 9/11 too, which was which was definitely changed the way we live, the way we fly, the way we think about safety, and that was the first
I wonder if
time a terrorist attack affected us in that level.
Yeah.
I wonder if because of the United States' influence, if that plus the internet sped up the internet in a way.
Oh, yeah,
because
just like the pandemic.
It's like it like that happens, and then we realize that there will be heightened level of security that we'll need to add, and all of that will involve like cameras and internet. And
take your shoes off when you're flying. Like
Exactly.
all this stuff.
That's interesting.
Like
I'd
me
like to
seeing
read that
someone
article.
off at the I've done it before. I've gone through whatever they called TSA back then. You go to the actual door where the people get off the plane. I've seen someone off, and I've been there waving as they walk off the plane, like in the movie Son-in-Law with Pauly Shore. There's the scene where Pauly Shore is getting off the plane.
Even your references go there.
Yeah. And
That's a talent.
But now you can't do that anymore. Like you got to wait behind TSA, and that's
Yeah. And then also like they referenced it was the first decade of where like because we had cable. And cable was readily available in all households, even though it kind of was in the 80s, but in the 90s it really was.
Yeah, it was. You had like basic.
It was the first time where a lot of like subgenres and like were represented, where you can fully like if you like rap, here's a channel for rap.
Yeah.
If you like rock, here's the country.
yeah.
There's like cable offer
For a
all
hot minute, my dad was obsessed with the music choice channels. I think that's what
Yeah.
you're talking about.
and
Yes.
Yeah. You could put on. He could put on like a channel that was like smooth '70s, like yacht rock, and just let it roll
Yeah.
all day.
And so all these subcultures were represented in the main culture, but then of course once we hit internet and full saturation and social media, it became too much. Where now it wasn't predominantly like like if you like rock in the '90s, you got 13 different bands. You know what I'm saying, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then it became to the point where there's so much where now you got 10,000, and then it's not even really a subculture.
It's like
anymore.
everybody's famous now.
Yeah, if you like rock, okay, well, what type of rock?
Yeah.
There's
Yes.
20 different types, and
I
before it was
mean,
just rock.
Not to
and
sound like a dumb old man, but man, even on Apple Music or Spotify, like when I go to look for stuff, it is hard because there is. We have been given so much, and I know it's always been that stuff's always been there. It's just it's never been in front of me, right?
Absolutely.
It's always. I mean, people have always played like salsa music or a
you just didn't
variation
know of it or know how to find it.
Correct. Exactly.
And styles were represented. I remember in middle school, which was the early 90s.
I don't remember my middle school. I can't believe you remember that.
Yeah, but
I remember everything about middle school.
Really?
Oh my God, I have a crazy memory.
I remember kids would do you like rock or rap? Are you a
Yeah.
rap or you like and there
That was pretty much it.
I feel like that's very race baiting.
Country was a
that's
very
race
limited
baity
market.
Now in the 90s, that was I
it
need to
was rock or
know
rap.
what because that represented your whole vibe.
Yeah, but you got to expand because DeLand had 3. We did have country.
Yeah,
100%.
well,
we did.
not in
Urban
South Florida. Where
I know,
Miami-
but
we're
you got to
from.
throw it in
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Okay, for those of us
You're right.
because honestly, like it was rock or rap, and I would probably say that most boys, baseball players or DeLand High guys, listen to country music.
Wow.
Yeah.
In my middle
I
school,
a
there was
rock.
none. Maybe
I
there was
a-
like one.
I was like with the skater guys, so I would listen to punk rock and rap. That's all I listened to.
Yeah.
Like NWA and then No Effects.
Yeah, and that's where like the subculture of I remember when hip hop and punk rock were like
they go perfectly together.
in
It's
high
like
s-
peanut butter and chocolate, man.
in high school, I always listened to punk rock and Wu Tang.
Yeah,
and
perfect.
that culture like respected each other, or at least you
Fringe.
were like you were a skater listening to hip hop.
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
had never been before.
100%.
Like if you were a skater in the 70s and 80s, you listened to rock. You were
like
Tony
rock
Hawk.
and
You know,
roll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then but then it just after the 90s, it became so diluted with everything. There was no predominant.
It was a cool period that rap got kind of pushed into the alternative category.
Yeah.
So you would have like there was a hot minute in the late 2000s where you would pop up these radio stations and it never really caught on. There's a couple of them left in America, but they're called like Jack FM.
Yeah.
That's what they're called.
Okay.
And it's like rock and rap. It's like you
Really?
take like Beastie Boys, Tribe Called Quest.
Mash them up or just play the songs back to back. But like,
It's a radio station, and it's like we're a Jack FM station, and all we play are alternative, rock and roll, punk rock, and rap music. And you blend it all together, and
Wow.
you make this crazy. It's like a crazy, almost like a skateboard magazine playlist, is what I would call
Lil
it.
Wayne started that because Lil Wayne is the first guy to make it cool for like rap guys to ride skateboards. Like 2008,
Yeah.
exactly the time Dan's
yeah.
talking about.
Yeah.
No,
Lupe
that-
Fiasco, I
that's
remember
Yeah,
had a
all
skateboard
2008.
connection.
It's 2008 in a
Yeah,
nutshell
but
right
it
there.
is weird how rap and skateboarding, I think that fringe, that rebellion, that like
That happened in the late
street-
90s.
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, like where you had like,
All my skater friends had the best rap tapes. They had all the best.
Yeah.
They had all the CDs. Like,
Yeah.
anything you wanted, they'd have it.
That
all my
makes
skater
sense.
friends.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, pretty interesting. You were a skater
I was a
kid?
skater and I was a rap guy too. So you know what I mean?
That
Like,
checks out.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
I had a half pipe in the backyard. I can't. Ask mom. My dad built me a half pipe. Yeah, it was kind of it was not done well, but it was a half pipe. But I can't find a single photo of it anywhere. There's like again, it was like 1992,
yeah, peak.
right then, and it only lasted about a year because it wasn't pressure treated wood. And then we ripped it down.
Dads are always so cheap. We didn't go pressure treated ever. We never
Well,
went
it's
pressure treated.
triple the cost.
Yeah.
sometimes more. I think
Yeah.
sometimes more than
Yeah,
triple.
yeah.
We never got one piece of pressure treated
No,
wood in my
it
entire.
lasted about a
Yeah,
year.
I don't think my dad ever bought one his entire life.
It's hard.
How funny is that?
I could speak for the. I feel like I represent.
You
the,
represent my dad perfectly.
the
You do
nor-
a
yeah.
lot of the same stuff.
Yeah.
Is that I look at the wood and I can't see the difference.
Yeah.
And one costs 3 times more, and then I'm like, well, it's wood's wood.
Wood's wood.
And like, it can't get ruined that quickly. Like, what the hell? And then it does.
I'm not paying extra for something I'm gonna cut in half. Like, Dad, don't you want it to last more than 8 months in the Florida sun? He'd build a deck or repair a railing, and then it would look like bright yellow for the first, and then like literally 2 weeks later, it's falling apart.
Brown.
That's funny.
Also, sitcoms and the way we consume television and what television was. We were talking about like the family sitcoms.
Did you have favorites?
Seinfeld by a million. I still watch Seinfeld and the King of Queens every single day of the week right now. Like my roommates make fun of me because I watch.
I'm about to make fun of you.
All I do is watch Seinfeld and King of Queens, pretty much.
King of Queens? You're on that King of Queens.
I've been on
man.
King of Queens for years. Cause it's on after I get off work for the last like 10 years.
He's on that KOQ, dog.
But Seinfeld is my beyond. I've seen every single Seinfeld at least 100 times each, minimum. I mean,
What is it about? We got to go back to King of Queens. What is it?
Good jokes. Oh my God, I was watching it last night in bed before I was going to sleep after work. Oh my God, the jokes are amazing, dude. The jokes set up and punch.
I've heard them from many people. I've heard the writing on King of Queens,
especially the newer seasons, because I bet you they got more money, so the writing got better. Seasons like 5 through season, I think they went to 9 seasons or 8. Oh, season 7 is the best at King of Queens.
You ever met Leah Remini?
No, but I liked her in Saved by the Bell too when she was
when she was the
manager of the beach club.
Carosi. Stacey
Carosi.
Carosi.
Got a horny memory. She was hot on that show.
Yeah. She was hot in King of Queens. I watch it. I'm like, dang.
And then you get her in the Scientology documentary, and I'm like,
well, at least she got out though.
I'm like, I think you yell at me a lot.
She likes that's her shtick though. She's probably like that in real life. She kind of like that.
Too sassy.
Ball
I don't
buster.
need that. Yeah.
I'm more of a Family Matters type of guy.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, wait a minute, nerds aren't black.
What are you doing?
Dad, get in here. Anyway,
I wonder.
that was the whole joke of the show.
We should have asked.
Yeah, it was.
We should have asked Vince Taylor what were his thoughts as a kid, as a young man on Urkel. I'm going to write that down and ask him next time we have Vince in here. About like, what did you think of Urkel as like a black guy? You're watching the show Family Matters. This guy pulls up, and remember that little bubble car he had? It was
towards the
freaking
latter
awesome.
half,
The Urkelmobile.
And I just read that he doesn't like to be called Steve Urkel anymore. Just like the shirt I'm wearing, Carlton doesn't like to be called Carlton
Well,
anymore.
sorry, that's what
That's
I'm
what it
calling
is,
you.
yeah.
I'll never not call you that, and if I see you on the street and you told me to my face, don't call me that, I'll do it. No, seriously, I would. I would do that.
See, I'm the guy who would be like, sorry, yes, sir. I would say,
No,
I would.
if Carlton is standing there and he's like, I'm Alfonso, I'll be like, oh, whatever, Carlton.
And I'd also tell him Alfonso is more of a nerdy white name than Carlton. You should have just used your real name. Did you bring that up to the director? Anyway, this brings me to a point that I had where I feel like, and we've talked about this before, but you need to go more and dive deeper into this 90s character.
I mean, have you seen what he's wearing today? Like, it's getting worse, man. It is, right? I mean,
yeah, it's good because it's cold out.
Yeah, I feel like you are brighter and more 90s than you've ever been today.
It's pretty.
You look great.
Thank you. See?
I want you to show up in the Urkelmobile. Like that.
They're very rare. They're very expensive, too. They only go to auction every once in a while.
See if you can find one and see if we could.
It's a specific name.
Is it like a motorcycle and then it's just bubbled in?
You know who I think has one?
Jay Leno?
Jay Leno.
Yeah.
No,
That
really?
old one-eyed, that one-eyed fat fool.
How
He's
is-
got like a steam engine car.
Yeah,
He's got
yeah.
everything.
But I remember when I saw that car, I thought as a kid, I was like, this will be the car of the future.
It was a 1957 BMW Isetta. I think. That's what
Isetta. It's an Isetta.
Isetta?
Yeah, Isettas.
Yeah, that's.
They love those They love those cars on what's that antique show?
The Antiques Roadshow.
No, the one with American Pickers. I like that show too.
Yeah.
Also, another 90s sitcom that I beloved was Step by Step.
Yeah.
in
I enjoyed
which
Step by Step, but I was horny for the daughter.
Suzanne Summers.
Yeah,
right?
no, the daughter.
Well,
on
yeah,
Step by Patrick Duffy's daughter.
That was the first time. This is pre-Step Sister porn that's so popular. I thought in the 90s, I was like, I wish my mom would marry a guy with a bunch of hot daughters. And then like, I don't care.
You're a monster.
None
man.
of
My
that.
God.
I'm like, it's a stepsister, and like, that's just marriage. It doesn't mean anything. Like, what if my mom married a man?
Stacey Keenan's who you're thinking of.
And then we had to
Oh,
live.
dude.
with
Was
it.
there Suzanne Summers though in it too?
Is that her right there?
I'm like, what if?
Is she up there? Can you see
Yeah,
it up there?
yeah. Oh,
Is that
yeah,
her? Stacey
Yeah,
Keenan.
that is her for sure.
I'm like, what if I?
That's her stage name. Her real name is Anastasia Love Sigorsky.
Like my stepdad Steve. Like, what if Steve had a 16-year-old daughter when I was 16?
I don't think she's gonna look like that. Like, no, I don't know. No offense to Steve, but you know,
whatever, you know. So I was like, and then because we didn't have a big enough house, like she had to sleep in my room
In real life. Oh, you're saying in
yeah,
your
yeah,
fantasy.
in my
Yeah,
fantasy.
yeah.
And then I was like, for sure, like what if
something would happen.
we're just you know,
Yeah, we'd end
even
up,
though we're like this-
passionate love because you're so because you always make the first move, right?
No. Well, I've seen the videos now, but I
With the
knew
internet.
then.
Oh,
I
is
was
she
like,
older? Is she an older?
no, same age. Like we both. Maybe she's 17. I'm 16.
She's my age. You know that?
Um,
She's 49.
And anyway, so I digress.
You know, Suzanne Summers claimed to have gotten pregnant without having sex. That was like one of her little like downfalls.
Well, she's not. She's lying.
She claimed
to be like the Virgin Mary.
God rest her soul, but she
I'll
claimed.
look that up. Hold on.
I hope I'm right. I hope I'm right about this, but she claimed to get pregnant without having sex. She said some BS. I can't remember now, but I'm pretty sure it was Suzanne Summers.
Like she sat on a dirty toilet seat.
Yeah, something.
I got AIDS that way, so I mean, that's, that does check out.
I got gonorrhea.
Let's
Please
see.
tell me I'm right.
I'm gonna say.
It's probably just an urban legend.
Yeah.
Like the Richard Gere.
Gerbil. That's real. That's real. The Richard Gere gerbil.
No, you can't even get in there.
No,
how open
I
is
don't
it?
think I think you heard
Dang,
wrong. It's
dang.
ChatGPT is telling me Suzanne Summers became pregnant at 18 after losing her virginity and married the child's father, Bruce Summers, in 1965. They had a son, Bruce Jr., but divorced in 1968.
Dang it. Okay, maybe. Yeah.
And then it goes into an abortion she had. I mean, this is ChatGPT.
Oh, man. God,
Get out of this woman's business, ChatGPT. Jesus Christ.
God rest her soul. You know what I
man,
mean?
leave the woman alone. That's traumatic. God bless.
All right, Pat. What do you got
All
here?
right, so
'Cause this is new. I haven't seen this.
Well, this is just my vessel to hold stuff. This is my cool like.
You got to hold it up on camera.
This
so.
is a radio that a friend of mine got for me as a present. And
All right, so it's an igloo cooler and 90.
It's a igloo.
yeah, it's like a 90s branded.
What is that? Is that a igloo cooler with a sticker of you on it?
But I don't know if you guys, this is when we would do back in the 90s also. We would go to McDonald's because I was a big Jordan guy, still am.
Yeah, go to McDonald's to hide out after you shot
Well,
somebody.
they had like fry packages for like a promotion, but me and my buddies went and bought unused fry packages, and I still have them to this day.
Oh, wow, hoarder.
But look,
This is actual trash. This is what the French fries came in the night. Do they smell like fries?
No, they're unused.
Oh, okay, I got you. Oh, these are collectibles.
I was gonna retire on when I was my age now.
You're Michael Jordans.
Oh, and you got a Charles Barkley?
I got every one of them.
I got a Jordan, dog.
I got every
You
one
got
of
a
them.
dream
Look at
team?
mine. Look at
Oh,
mine.
you got a Jordan?
I got Jordan.
They were basketball cards that were basically
Let me
French
get,
fry, yeah.
Let me get 5 of these.
You got to pick which ones you want.
No, I'm not taking your. This is.
I've had those since
have
day
you looked
one.
these up?
I have years ago, and I think there is some value to them, but not like I thought I was.
Those are. All, I'm gonna look that up for you.
Go ahead.
What does it say on it?
They are, just look up 1994 McDonald's fry packages like NBA.
Now, in the 90s, when you were younger, Pat, and you asked to purchase these
they were
fry packages?
14 cents a piece, I remember. 'Cause I remember everything.
And so they charge you 14 cents a piece, and you bought a ridiculous
Me and my buddy
amount.
Jabbo would go into McDonald's by the house.
Jabbo?
Yeah, his name was James. We called him Jabbo his whole life, yeah.
And now you save these.
Yeah.
They're 30 years old now.
Yeah.
I got the answer, man.
Okay.
ChatGPT knows everything. So the Michael Jordan ones, because they're in like excellent condition,
Yeah.
they're about $10 a piece.
Yeah.
No,
So,
really?
How many do you have?
I have like 5 Jordan ones probably.
Yeah, well, no,
Okay.
all of them.
Oh,
They're
I-
each one. The Jordans are the ones that people want the most.
Yeah, exactly.
But it says like about $10 a piece for all of them.
Now,
So I mean, how many do you think you got?
I have the complete set, at least 3 complete sets. But I have 4 or 5 Jordan ones. I got 4 or 5 of every single one.
Right. So you probably got like that might be like $700.
And
or
even
something.
the Dream Team 2, they did the same sort of promotion. The next thing was the Dream
It'd
Team.
take you 4 weeks to put them on eBay and sell them,
yeah,
ship them.
it's not worth it. You might as well burn them in your backyard.
You make $400 for 80 hours of work.
And this is one of my most prized possessions in the world. I got this in 1990 from Bobby Florentine. I paid $5 for it. This was a Wheaties box, but it came with a basketball hoop that you could actually play. It came with like a little stupid cardboard basketball that you would.
Oh, that popped out of the Wheaties box?
They would like pop. You'd like
I
pop
grew
it.
up with a cardboard basketball. We were very poor.
So,
Very poor.
what's that? Look that up. The
This-
Wheaties.
Yeah. Look up.
You've never bothered to look these up before?
No, I never thought about this. Look up 19.
Hold on. You've never thought about it?
No, not
like
this.
You've walked past it for
Oh, I've
30
had this.
years.
I've had this for 35 years. I've had this for 35
And
years.
you've never thought about what it would be worth?
It's searching the net. We're
Like,
look-
what
we're
if
looking for
what
it.
if one of these things, these trinkets that you held, is your key?
Well,
Because I'm telling you,
I
if you're
have
rich,
one. I've got one. This one.
It's,
this one.
it's about $100, dog.
Yeah, that's
That's $100.
so it's
right
all just worth just enough to never sell.
okay.
Yeah.
This is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's only actually known basketball or football card that he played with.
But the only one in
The
existence.
only printed one, and this card sold. This card I'm holding in my hand. One sold for $40,000 and one sold for $80,000 a year and a half ago.
Really?
And I own one. Because this card was a giveaway at a Miami Hurricanes game during a bowl game. Before Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson was anybody, he was a backup. So no one cared about him.
You better put that down.
Thank you. Right? You're looking at it?
Yeah, I'd put it down if I were you.
What is it worth? What does it say?
I wouldn't even touch it.
One's worth 40 and one's worth 80.
So in 2014, it's okay. So I'll read you the whole thing. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's 1994 University of Miami football card, produced by Bumblebee Seafoods, has become a highly sought after and collectible due to its rarity and Johnson's immense popularity. Thank you. The card was part of a 24 card.
I have all of them, by the way.
Oh, that's even better. It was a 24 card perforated sheet distributed during a 1994 game at the Orange Bowl.
I was there.
Inclement weather during the event led to many of the cards being destroyed because of the rain.
Thank you.
All of the sheets that were given to the kids
Yeah,
got
they're just
rained
there,
on. They
yeah.
got destroyed. You got one, kept it nice. In 2014, one sold for $4,000. In 2020, a gem mint 10 graded card fetched $13,000. In 2021, it went up to $45,000.
Thank you.
And then 2 months afterwards, it sold for $81,000.
Thank you.
This thing could be worth $100,000.
Dude, you should
What
have
the-
never brought that here. That is no business in this studio.
I mean,
That's awesome.
Thank you.
The
And I-
Rock may buy that for you.
I'm
from you.
very-
He's got a.
I'm very
unlimited-
impressed. I'm very impressed.
You know, you put it's weird how you find things.
Hold on, I got to point out that everyone else that comes into our show and brings stuff, like other than Dino Jimmy, you guys got nothing.
Yeah, he's got a the
An
Rock card.
$81,000
Yeah.
football card and a dinosaur and a fully constructed dinosaur. Everybody else in 2025,
Wow.
you're stepping it up. When you come in here, you're stepping it up.
So, Pat-
$82,000.
And I was going to throw it away. Theoretically, I have boxes of cards, in my room. My buddy Paul, my best friend growing up, his kid likes the Hurricanes and he likes football. I went to my card boxes. I opened one of the boxes up. I just saw cards that looked different because of the perforated edge. I had no idea I even owned this card. No idea this card is even worth anything. I just grabbed this pile of cards. Oh, Miami Hurricanes in their football. I'm going to give them to Paul's kid as a present from Uncle Pat because I like him. I go, Paul, give these to Cameron. He goes, do you know what you have here? And I'm like, no. He goes, bro, stop the car right now. And he shows me. I pull over, and now I'm like, my hands are shaking because I had no idea. That card would still be in a box in my room if I didn't just happen to randomly open that one random box and pick up those one. It wasn't like I was looking through all the cards. I just opened a box, saw cards, grabbed them, and gave them to Paul. And he told me that's mind-blowing to me that I did that.
It's a sign from '90s Jesus.
I mean, if there was ever an argument against my argument for you not to be a legend, that might be it. I mean, like, sometimes you got to know, maybe I've been wrong on trying to get Pat to tone down his 90s ways. Maybe it's written in the stars.
By the way, '90s Jesus looks like Slater from Saved by the Bell.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
They
with
went
long
Latin.
hair.
They went Latin on that.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Well,
like
he
that.
is darker.
Yeah, yeah.
Jesus was a
He's
more.
a hunk.
And I've got this one too, which is this one's pretty valuable.
Okay, what is that? The Jordan?
That's the Jordan rookie card. One sold for $1 million.
Hold on.
Well, what's yours graded?
I haven't got this one graded. That's why I'm nervous to do it.
You got to get them both graded, dude,
No.
or they're worth nothing. You have to get them graded.
The rock card I have graded.
Well, let's just say Jordan rookie.
What's your grade on it?
7.
A 7?
Well, look up the Jordan rookie, even if it's graded.
Yeah, look up. I mean, a graded Jordan rookie. I'm pretty sure like a 10 mint was sold for $1 million. I'm like 99% sure.
Okay, we're gonna look this up, and then we gotta have a longer discussion. I mean, because you've brought in, I thought a cooler full of garbage like you usually do.
Well, hold on. It's to give you a little more perspective. It's still not bad. I'm not
1,400 or 1,800.
I got 10. I got 10 G's. I got I got that one. If it's
And I have the entire set, which maybe holds some value if I sell it.
I'd maybe keep them together and have them graded again.
That's what I was thinking about getting regraded.
Yeah, I would.
Now, so with the Jordan rookie card,
I'm scared to do it because it's like the unknown. That you know what I mean.
What does it matter? I mean, like you don't know
scared,
now.
Scared to be rich. What the hell's your problem, Pat?
Well, I probably wouldn't sell it. That's the problem.
Well, then it's worth nothing.
No,
you
but I
understand?
know because it's like I'm a Jordan guy, and it's like the holy
Pat,
grail.
Let me see it.
Pat-
I have a lot of cards.
This is.
I mean, it's in really good shape.
It
dude.
is in good shape.
It's
I've had it forever.
I almost cursed. I would get this graded because it's in really good shape. I don't know if the chat room can see that. It looks great.
Pat-
I'd get it in a better case. Too.
Yeah, well, I kept it in the case. That's the one it's always been in. So, like, I don't want to
Well,
touch
do you
it.
want to know? I mean,
Yeah, go ahead.
If it was a graded, if it's Gem Mint, which most cards aren't. Let's just be real. It'd be like $1 million.
That's what $1
$1
million,
even
Tom.
at its lowest, like $250,000.
$250,000 at its lowest.
At a 9, which man, that looks pretty mint.
I know.
That looks mint to
but-
me. I have a lot of cards. I
Yeah.
don't mess with my cards. They sit. 50,000.
I'm scared of that one. That's what I know.
I mean, even if we went near mint, which
Yeah.
I think that might
I-
that to me is crisper corners in a near mint.
it's pretty nice.
$18,000. You know,
Okay,
it's
so
a lot of dough.
I know.
That's a lot of dough for a card, man.
now who knows what other treasures you have, Pat?
You should come to my house.
We should. You know
Well, I
what?
will to rob you. Now that you've told us all, now you better have a '90s gun, which is like a regular gun.
They're exactly the same. We just have more of them.
They didn't really change them. That's the one thing I'm disappointed. I thought
No.
we'd have a cooler
cooler
gun.
guns.
Have some
Yeah.
laser
Yeah,
guns.
like a Glock nowadays kind of looks basically the
Some
same.
of those novelties, like the Big Judge, which is a shotgun pistol.
Yeah,
you know,
but it's all you know. Like I wanted them to be future.
I wanted a
ray guns.
laser gun.
Yeah. Not
Yeah.
just a regular standard.
Taser's pretty good.
So, and look, I got more unopened packs. We're going to open some right here. I've had all these packs forever, too. We're going to open some here. Maybe
have
just-
$60,000.
Who knows? You might have.
Are they worth more unopened? Sometimes
Well,
you sell
How
them.
do you know what the hell's in them if they're unopened?
Yeah,
Well, that's why
that's-
people
yeah.
they sell.
Yeah.
They're worth more because the gamble. People will buy them.
Yeah.
They thinking that it
I would
may.
never do that.
The card people do.
I know, but
It's all-
I would
I
never
follow
do
people on
that.
TikTok all the time that do that.
They buy cars and they open them live.
I'd
and
probably
that's the-
open it,
Here's-
look at them, and then seal them back up in
There
a
you
way
go.
to
You get
make
upper deck. Tom got Don Russ.
Okay,
right.
they're baseball cards. Now, Pat, while we're doing this, let me urge you because we.
Are you now his 90s advisor?
Yeah, I would
His
like to be your
90s
manager,
yeah.
Pat.
All
I see a
right.
lot
Do you
of.
have an agent? Do you have any representation?
Do you
No,
he's got
no.
no agent, no. Because of course he doesn't. He's floundering around. He's not focused.
Yeah, you do need to get focused.
So you're sitting on a gold mine here, Pat, and this is your ticket
Yeah.
to all your dreams coming true.
You're right, you're
because
right.
because this,
I don't think you'd be lonely if you're sitting on $80,000.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Not-
I mean, that's a lot of dough.
Not,
know.
not only can you start throwing money around, which will attract the ladies, especially the ladies
He
that you
already
like.
throws his money
I
around.
do.
Yeah,
I
but
do.
not enough.
Reckless.
You need
I love it. He's living the true life.
you need a more novelty '90s car. You need to start
Have you
transforming.
been hanging out with my wife? She says, Pat gave me unopened New Kids on the Block trading cards.
Oh, I did. I bought a pack. That's right.
Where
Yeah.
have you been meeting up with my wife to give her? No, I'm kidding.
I went to your house. I it's right down the road.
I hope there's a Nolan Ryan.
I give it right to you. I give it
No,
right back to
we're
you.
looking for Don Mattingly. That's my
Is that
guy.
what I'm looking
Yeah,
for?
So open them
All
up.
right,
Let's
we're
open
gonna
them up.
open- We've never done this. We're not opening 19.
Yeah, these have never been seen a light
Okay,
of day.
I'm gonna tell you something right now.
Are
Just
these from the
what I'm
90s?
noticing. Mine is covered in actual foil.
Yeah.
They would never do that now. Too expensive. Feel that.
Oh, yeah,
Feel
yeah,
the
yeah.
package how it's foil.
Oh yeah.
They would
This
never
is
do
quality
that. That is
foil.
quality foil. You could wrap your pizza. in
That's
that.
the thing. Upper Deck. That was Upper Deck's. Like they were known for that.
Yeah, and
these
that's
are
some
great.
thick '90s foil. Nowadays, it's thick
Oh,
paper
thin,
thin.
thin.
So thin.
Yeah.
All right, I got.
If you get any names you recognize.
Let me see.
I got
I'm gonna
Danny
go, I
Tartable.
gotta go quick.
Yeah. We're looking for Don Mattingly's my guy, so that's what you're looking for.
I got Kevin Blankenship.
Jack Armstrong.
These are a bunch of old guys.
Yeah.
Larry Sheets. That's a baseball name. Hubby Brooks.
Ted Wood.
Joe Carter. I got Joe Carter.
Roberto Alomar.
I don't got
Scott Livingstone.
any Braves. I don't got one
I don't
single
have any
Brave.
Braves either. I don't think I got anybody good. Bobby Witt.
I forgot how
Shout
many.
out to Bobby Witt Jr.
I forgot how many baseball players used to be white.
Yeah,
Yeah.
This is before they realized
they're all
the
Dominican.
people in the Caribbean, they know how to play baseball.
Yeah, they were
yeah.
for
All
a
these-
while they were stuck on steel drums and they're like, I think we have true baseball magic in our hands.
All right, you want Batman or Batman Returns?
I gotta go original Batman.
Yeah, and there's a piece of gum in there too.
Oh.
You got to eat the gum.
All right. I will.
And then
How old is the gum?
35 years
So
old.
Pat,
Do you want me to eat this 35-year-old Batman gum?
so do you? Okay, real question. Let's talk real for a second. Why don't you sell this and then put some money in the bank account and then make your life easier? Because I know you're single
He
and you
doesn't
make
sell any of his treasures. You know that.
you make good money.
I mean,
as a bartender.
I've got a decent amount of money. Money's not really my real issue nowadays. I mean, I could always have more, but I mean, I'm doing okay money wise, but
you could build this '90s persona bigger and better with the money.
I know. I already trying to buy one of those Japanese mini trucks. I'm like this close to buying one. Like,
Okay, let's make it happen. How can we help?
You sell your goddamn
Dwayne Johnson card.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
if you did sell the Dwayne Johnson card, you'd probably. I mean, that's your mini truck right there.
Yeah.
But I
That's
can buy a mini
more
truck
than-
right now. I have been this close to buying a mini truck more than 10 times
What's
in the last
stopping
year.
you from buying the mini
Just
truck?
not. I don't really need another vehicle. Just more stuff. It's like more work. Like it just.
Do you drive the Cadillac daily?
weekendly?
Weekendly?
Yeah.
And then you have a little car.
I have a Nissan Frontier truck. Yeah.
Not a 90s?
But this
No, 2010. It's still old enough.
Do you want a 90s car? Would that complete the look?
I would be nice. I mean, I like cars. I like old cars. So the older the better. Really, any kind of older car. 70s. I like 70s and 80s cars actually, but 90s. The 90s are too new. They look too new. But
Gotcha.
the mini truck I like a lot. I want one of those badly.
Iconic for you though, 90s. If I may, I would probably get you
CRX.
Dick Trickle. I would get, what was that car? Lumina.
A Chevy Lumina?
I'd get you a Lumina. That's the 90s car. That's Dick Trickle, baby. That's Days of Thunder. That's 90s.
The Urkelmobile's in the ultimate '90s, even though
But
it's
it's from the
90s.
show. But it's
I'm
from the
going
show.
90s,
Okay, yeah.
I'm going like, what was the hot car? The Lumina, man.
The Chevy Lumina?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that doesn't get enough attention. If he was
Yeah,
driving
yeah.
around the Urkelmobile,
Well, what if it
dressed,
had the mellow yellow, the Dick Trickle all over it?
now it's NASCAR.
Wait, but Days of Thunder's not 90s though.
Wait,
by
that
the
was
way.
Cole Trickle. Cole Trickle was his name in the movie,
Yeah.
right?
Days of Thunder came out in 1987 though.
Yeah, it's more late
boo.
80s.
I'm really good at years of movies too. That's
Yeah, yeah.
another.
94 Lumina. My wife had a 94
But
Lumina.
it'll allow you to transform your house. Like, I imagine your living room should look like the Seinfeld living room. Replica.
Oh, really, really go deep.
And each-
oh my God,
Or
that would-
Friends or
if I
something?
could,
Yeah.
no Seinfeld. If I do the Seinfeld living room, oh my
Yeah, yeah.
God,
Why don't you try?
that is something that I would.
Because
Be,
It'd probably only take about $80,000 worth of
Yeah.
props. You know?
I mean, so you could start, and then that's where your social media presence kicks in because you're like, this
because I
could-
changed from a living room to Seinfeld. That's true.
Yeah, and
And-
then you rent your place at an Airbnb, and I'll let you sleep in the studio on the nights it's rented.
Okay.
With all your
Free
bric-a-brac
pinball.
stuff, you can get another house and just have a '90s. Dude,
A
I'm
90s
telling you,
Airbnb would
I
actually
wouldn't want
work.
Saved by the Bell the Max. That's honestly, I swear in my mind, I wanted to turn my house into the Max from Saved by the Bell.
Why
for
don't you do
years.
it?
Yeah, the kitchen could be you
The
could have
kitchen.
different rooms of '90s.
Oh, my God.
Like nowadays, the Airbnb novelty houses
Yeah.
are the ones that are booked the most.
Yeah,
Like
right.
Except
Airbnb.
for ours.
Well, ours is weird. It's not. Everybody's like, "What the hell is this?" Yeah. But the '90s, everybody can relate to.
It's true.
So you're opening up the world. You
It's
know,
true.
like, and that's like the old Pizza Huts. You know, they're keeping nostalgia.
And the
Pizza Huts.
Blockbuster.
People are blockbusters. People are going to these nostalgia places. I'm telling you, this could be a business. You take all these card monies that you have, and then you buy a house and you turn it into Saved by the Bell,
Yeah.
Seinfeld, whatever. And
I mean, you could turn
and
it
then
in.
market it.
Okay, hold on.
You're-
We're little
And I got a
thinking.
lot of Jordan cards that are
We're-
worth some
we're-
good
And
money.
decorate the whole.
We're
You got all
little.
the crap.
We're little thinking here. What are you good at? What's your profession?
I'm a bartender.
Correct. And you're talking to people.
Oh,
he needs
oh.
to open a tiny little, like Nora's down the road.
I know Nora's,
A
yeah.
tiny little bar that's all 90s themed where you're the bartender and it's called Cadillac Pats.
Yeah.
That's it.
Like a
you
size of
are-
a Nora's.
Like a size of a Nora's, a one bartender place that people love and it's kitschy and people want to hang out with you and they just drive in and see
90s
your-
memorabilia.
Yeah, and you're serving up drinks. You
I
mix them
thought
a
about that.
cocktail. You mix them a beer, maybe. Maybe you have another bartender that's in there
Yeah.
with you. You have your pinball machine people are playing. You got retro video games. It's Cadillac Pats. Come on over.
It's
and get
small.
a
Make it real small.
Slice of the 90s,
Yeah, yeah.
man.
Keep the overhead small.
Me and Daniel maybe invest in that.
I would
Yeah,
invest in
yeah.
that.
Yeah, because we'd handle the money. Because I don't know, Pat.
Well, no, I would not.
The
I
fact-
would not. I don't know what side the dollar sign goes on. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know
I'll
any-
handle the money.
Yeah, I am so bad at money. I've been asking him all week. What side of the zeros does the dollar sign go on?
The fact that you are carrying around six figures and cards
Don't
and a
tell
cooler tells me that you can't handle the money, Pat. I'll do the business. You just stand there clowning around, and
This is the same speech he gives
Oh
me.
my god.
and then we'll
I get
be
this
rich.
speech all the time. It's good.
It's good. He's selling me. Damn.
You could say
I'm
a
a
lot.
salesman.
You could say a lot of things about Tom, but he plays to his strengths, right?
Yes.
Play to your strengths.
Yes, you're right.
I mean, we're not
The
joking.
whole
We're-
chat.
we're
Everybody's
not-
saying they would go to Cadillac Pats.
Yeah. The
and
nine-
they would.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it
A
looked.
It's got to be like kind of. It's got to be quaint.
they'll-
It's got to be small
they'll-
and very nice, but not fancy. It's a '90s bar.
Yeah.
There'll be a little couch like the Central Perk, like the little
like that.
nod
Have a
to
little
Captain-
coffee corner. I
yeah,
sell coffee
yeah,
too.
and that'll be
Yeah.
like a Central Perk, and then and then
Pinball dudes are rotating machines out that are more '90s centric pinball machines.
They
that
have
you
a million
want
of
in
those
there.
too. I
Yeah.
play them
You
all
can
the
put some
time.
'90s stuff in
the
there.
bar stools and everything will look like the diner from
the Max.
Saved by the Bell.
Yeah,
the
only
Max.
'90s music.
Yeah, oh, obviously.
You know, 90s shows on TV on mute, playing all the time on
Yeah.
loop. You got Gremlins, or not Gremlins, but you'd have like, we'll say by the
Ninja
Bell,
Turtles
you'd
is
have to have
board-
Ninja
Turtles
Turtles. You'd
right
have
there.
to have.
Can I have DVDs strewn about for people to play their own DVDs? Because that's like
You could, yeah.
VHS tapes.
You know
or
what?
not?
I don't think this is going to work out.
No. You're junking it up now. We gotta make
Okay,
it easy
okay,
and
okay.
streamlined.
Streamlined.
Can I have a trash can, a baseball card?
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
you
yeah.
can't.
This
All
is-
right,
yeah,
streamlined.
Yeah, this is about the money. Turn and burn. Like,
Can I put on I got to put my claw machine in there too then because I need to
Yeah.
make some
Yeah, yeah,
room.
You
yeah.
can have
we
a
can do
claw
that.
machine in there. That's fine.
and then fill it full of 90s bric
Yeah, yeah.
You could win. Maybe
It's
you
already got
win.
stuff in there.
Okay, you buy an S-ton. I've seen these. You can win these auctions. You buy an S-ton of 90s DVDs from like a video place that went out of business.
Sure.
You fill the claw machine with 90s DVDs, and that's the prize you win.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's free. It's
Yeah.
not worth nothing.
Yeah,
It's literally worth nothing.
Yeah. I mean, they're themed out bars and Airbnbs. Like even going back to the Airbnb, I think that would work as well too. Now the bar may get you more money, but you have to staff it. It's more, you have to get a liquor license. You know, the Airbnb
And the drunk people, they do end up stealing things and breaking things.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of that. But
Ooh, you unlocked a memory. Has anybody found any of your treasures?
there's still two. The ones at Brass Tap are still there right now, and people ask about them every once in a while still because I haven't really been talking to S about them lately. But there's I get off work and I see the one still right there. There's one in front of the gym that's still right
Are
there.
you afraid that you've made them a little too hard and people
well,
are losing interest?
I didn't hide them for interest. I hid them for me. I want them to be there 10 years from now.
It's like Crystal in the Thanksgiving dinner.
Like I don't.
Right? It's like you in the camping
There
trip.
are
It's like,
some
this is-
treasures that
it's
I
for
hide
you. It's
for
you.
people to find. I do, but these ones that I hid, I like. I have a hidden time capsule in my mom and dad's backyard. I like the idea of just knowing something's there. Like, yep, it's still there. Like if someone finds it, great. But if they found it, it's like it's gonna be a hard one.
I mean, I got my brain's on fire now because with Paul Williams' help, he knows how to start bars. He knows the business.
Well, he has space. He knows space. I mean, again, it's a little place in my mind.
Yeah.
You've got basically the decorations, a little bit of build
And
out.
I got the credit, and I got some capital, so I know I could make that happen too. The funding for sure.
But
I
you
got
also
credit.
we know some millionaires
Like,
that'll back us.
Like you know the way it's supposed to look. For
Yeah,
instance, you
yeah.
wouldn't put your real Michael Jordan stand-up
No.
in there. You'd take it to Kinko's and get one printed.
Yeah, or I'd buy
then
another
you'd
one.
cut it out and put it. You got to have the stand-up. You got to have a Nerf basketball hoop.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
you got to have all that stuff that you got to have an oversized Swatch watch clock that hangs on the
I've been
wall.
looking. Actually, I've been looking for one of those.
You got to have one of those. You
I
got to
mean,
have
I've got half
a
the stuff already.
some neon lights.
Well,
Got that.
Well, this could be you could move the stuff out of your house.
Yeah, exactly.
Into the bar, and then
Yes.
you could be now you live your personality at the bar, and then you go
you
back.
leave
and
it
then,
at the bar, and then that way you're able to have a relationship at your house.
Oh yeah, you're right.
That's more of the healthy way to do it. I don't like that. I want you to go more crazy.
Yeah. Legend.
Yeah, I would get more stuff. I'm not
Legend
going to take
stuff.
stuff out of my house. I'm going to buy
Yeah,
another
that-
pinball
yeah.
machine and another Miss Pac-Man.
Because part
That's
of the
Tom's garage. He was just talking about that. Every time he cleans it out, it's just to put more stuff in.
yeah.
part of the marketing is I need you to get a bigger social media imprint so you can promote people to come to the bar.
Sure,
So you need to get more crazy,
And then
you
you,
know, it may cost.
And eventually you do go off the rails.
yeah. You'll be you'll be lonely,
But
you'll be rich.
who's gonna be? Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, yeah.
And then for
You'll
sure,
do a little. You'll do a couple years for putting somebody through a window or something.
Yeah, I'll do a
Freaked
little
out.
time, maybe probation or something. Maybe.
Yeah.
And if you get too lonely, you can always plow one of these.
Then I just get
Sanford bar hacks.
Yeah, or pro.
Oh,
that
man. Have you
are,
seen
that
them?
are,
No,
that are around
no.
the alcoholics.
Oh my God.
You can plow them in the back.
Here's a Tom and Dan tip. If you're staying at our Airbnb, right outside your door, it's Hag City. Just walk out and just throw a dart.
You'll hit a hag. Hag bullseye. All right, Pat. Well, we laid it out for you,
Yeah,
so I don't
all
know
right.
what else you
Take
need.
it or leave it. Take it or leave it.
I mean, seriously though, because you should have
A
you know,
lockbox?
a safe, not
With,
just keep your valuables.
Every
With,
time you come in here, you do something extra crazy, and that's the craziest thing you've ever done. You have that has no business being here.
yeah. Hey,
I thought you'd like it.
You need,
I'm very impressed. He was right. He wrote me an email. He was like chomping at the bit. He's like, I can't wait to show you what I have. That was a good one, dude. That was a good one.
I mean, who do you even go to get that appraised? Is there a card shop?
Oh,
around?
yeah.
Well, eBay is like the main appraiser because it buys recent sales on
And they'll
cards.
authenticate it for you. Like there are places that you can go, even places here.
Yeah.
Well, I know they have them in Tampa.
There's local PSA. PSA is one of the brands. Beckett's another brand. There's a few different brands that vet your cards, and different type of cards are better with different services.
I mean, now's your time to start the Cadillac Pat's bar and grill.
Yeah.
I had a grill because the food's where the money.
Yeah,
The
okay.
food. I mean, Tiffany with her smash burgers. She's a genius.
I get her involved, maybe.
All right. So
She don't want to be a
she got
She
too many
thinks you're
businesses.
stupid.
Although, I mean, she is. I mean,
She owes me. I got her first paid gig as a musician years ago.
All right.
At Houlihan's. I got it
Well,
for
if
her.
she owes you, why don't you get us some? Why don't you get us some booby pics?
That doesn't matter anymore. The first paid gig. All right. We will see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Oh, that's a funny ass show.
Yeah, that is funny.
That's a cool card, dude.
Thank you.
I gotta send Tuddle the link real fast.
Yeah.
He just got back from Tampa. Where's that go, buddy?
That is January 2nd.
2nd. January what?
2nd,
2nd.
2025.
Oh my God! I'm glad you said 2025. And what day is that? Is that a Tuesday?
That is no. I believe that's a Thursday.
Thursday. Thank you, buddy.
And that, you said that Dwayne The Rock Johnson card has a sheet. Came in a sheet. I remember this.
Yeah.
There is a very good chance that I have an unripped sheet because knowing myself as a kid, I would have ripped one and kept one perforated, but I can't find it.
You've got to if you had the whole sheet, that would be probably
places where it would be like in mom and dad's house tucked away.
Yeah.
I'm like, I know myself. I know I would have looked around the stadium and gotten two, and I ripped one up, put it in my box of cards. I know I would have kept another one. I know me, but I cannot find it.
Interesting. Well, good luck with it, dude. It's super interesting and really cool.
Thank you. It's funny, like when I said my most prized possession, I wasn't even thinking that. I was thinking this box of Wheaties because that's I've had longer.
Well, that's what I thought it was. Yeah, but then we pivoted over to the card, and I'm like, oh my God, that's crazy. Well, thanks again for coming in.
Yeah.
That was super fun.
like
And I hope you liked your song,
Oh, that's awesome.
your hip hop song.
I can't wait to listen and hear it. Well, I'm gonna.
I'll send it to you.
All right,
So
yeah.
you can have it.
Yeah,
you can
yeah, yeah.
remix it and play it for people, and then
Yes.
walk around, play it on your cooler,
Yeah,
and
I was gonna come in playing. I'm like, I'm always afraid you're on the air when I walk in.
just do whatever you want. No, like I tell everybody that no one's gonna bother us.
Well, in case you have someone here, like.
It's fine. We would just pivot with it.
I look at the wall in the bathroom. I'm like, damn, I forget like Nate Borgatzi or however you say his name. That guy is.
Yeah, he's huge.
He's doing arenas.
We got him before he got big.
And he blew up like 3 years ago maybe kind of thing.
right during COVID.
Yeah, and his jokes are good. I'm like, damn, how do you guys get him in here?
I started watching that.
He was at the beginning. He was just
Yeah.
doing the circuit.
Yeah.
And then it blew up right
I think
after.
it lasted about a year though. He popped
So
fast.
so Nikki Glazer, same shit.
He's hosted SNL twice, I think.
Yeah.
Nikki Glazer, you had in your. I knew you.
Yeah.
She didn't get as big because Bargatze, he's clean. So that's what
Nikki, well, the hot girls, they lean on doing pussy jokes. That's all they do. I mean, that's like.
it helps them get.
Her.
Yeah.
Every hot chick does that.
That's it's part. I'm sure it's part of the
I
business.
DM'd Nikki Glazer before asking to take her out if she's ever in Orlando. She doesn't respond back. But.
Yeah. I would.
I
assume
wouldn't.
that.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
Yeah.
It's that's how you get killed.
You got anybody coming in here?
We got Tuddle zooming in
coming
here
in.
in a
I
second.
mean, any famous people coming in to?
Not before the end of the year.
No.
So if you ever do, please, if I ever am able to sit in. And,
Yeah.
be quiet.
Yeah.
If anybody
We might get a call from Donnell Rollins next week, but that's
but
about
they're
it.
not coming in. A lot of people don't come in anymore
I know,
after
it's
it's
being
become
said.
easy. Zoom has become too convenient. They're like drive all.
I get it, yeah.
That's
But,
like-
coming here is also. If you're famous, so coming in here is cool because it's a cool neighborhood, and this studio is awesome. It's like it's a professional place. It's not like someone's garage.
The improv comedians will still come in because they're in town and
Yeah.
they get a driver or whatever. But for the most part, anybody else is coming in for a gig. They're not
Yeah.
coming in studio.
Like I was here one day. Craig Robinson was here the same day I was here. Like
Yeah.
like an hour or so beforehand. And I was like, oh my god, I could have seen Craig Robinson. That would just be cool for me. But
Yeah. Well, dude.
thanks, Double D. Thanks, brother.
Boom. Thank you, man.
Get my phone here. Yeah, just throw these away.
Nah, I'm not throwing
Oh,
away.
yeah.
I'll keep them.
There you go. Give them to your kids. They'll love it.
I will look at him later. I love cards. With my addicting personality, I had to sort of step away from it. I saw it becoming again when Maisie and I got into cards. I would go up to the card shop and I would just buy a case of cards.
There's one by his house.
I very much enjoy. I've been to it.
There's a guy with a rug. It's like the worst. It's like a raccoon with.
I know
tail.
exactly who you're talking about.
Black,
Yeah, yes.
Jet black.
I like that shop though.
It's not. It's like an old school.
It's
shop.
a nice little shop.
Yes.
Andrea basically like had to tell me. She's like, look at all your look at all the cards that you just have sitting. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm like, you're right. You're right. You're right.
I'm the same way.
I'm done. Oh, dude, pro set.
Yeah.
This is when I would have been opening.
There you go. It's yours.
Thank you, buddy. This is 90s. This might have a Herschel Walker.
What'd you say?
Remember the Michelin Herschel Walker card?
Oh yes, absolutely.
I have a bunch of those.
Damn. You should look at how much that Mark Jackson card is worth. Maybe it's probably worth something.
It's worth a little bit because of the.
Guys on it.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, guys.
See you, buddy. See who I get here. Oh, dude, I got my favorite bear. This guy's the toughest motherfucker in football. Look at that guy, Dan Hampton. Watched a documentary of Dan Hampton. He was like, it was the first time as a kid I realized that like athletes got hurt. It's like some like NFL films with my dad. I'm watching it, and Dan Hampton's talking about like he's like you get hurt and you wrap your legs with so much tape where they just stand straight. You just push yourself back in the game. You know, like he's one of those guys.
Yeah.
Like couldn't even fucking. This guy can't walk anymore. Dan Hampton. Let's see what else we get here. I'm not seeing anybody. Joe Montana. Got a little Joe Montana. But it's one of the MVP Super Bowl cards. Not a big deal. Huh. Wait,
I think we've met a couple of BDMs that actually, because I'm like, who? I've never seen someone sell their shit and then get the money, and then some BDMs contact me like, I sold mine or whatever. But for a lot of, every time I see this, no one ever tells me the story about like, I got 80 grand or I got $35,000 for this and I sold it and now I have the money.
Yeah.
It's always like, I have this, it's worth that. And then I always think to myself, like,
I've only done that one time.
I wonder, they just die with it and their kids either throw it away or find,
Sometimes they don't know they have it.
Yeah. And then it's like their kids end up selling it, right? Because it doesn't, they are like, oh, it's just money.
Well, there's no sentimental value to them. I did that. The only thing I've ever done that with was a watch where I like bought it, enjoyed it, it gained money, and then I sold it on eBay and I got like triple what I paid for it.
Yeah.
It wasn't a ton of money either. It was $9,000 total. And I had purchased the watch for $3,000.
That's
the best I've ever done. So, I mean, it must be Like, I'm not the type of person though, because I'm way too sentimental about shit. I didn't even want to sell that watch.
I remember the only thing I have like that is I have these. I don't know if they're Peruvian, but they're maybe Peruvian gold coins that my pop had.
That's
and
cool.
He'd give them away for like to me or my sister for like birthdays and stuff. And then he gave me like 3 or 4 of them.
Like, I have 600 Peruvian gold coins to the tune of $2.9 million.
No, it wasn't that much. It was
Yeah.
just like he didn't even know what they're like, whatever. But they're each worth like $300 or whatever, something like
Because
that.
of the amount of gold.
400, it's something. I remember my sister one time. She's like, I sold one of them, and then I have them, and I'm like, they're just sitting there. I should just sell them and then get like $1,200.
I did that with my mom.
But then
Did
I'm
we
like,
talk
I
about
don't
that?
need. I'm like, I'm not hard up for money, so you know.
Yeah.
But and then it's kind of like
I just
the
did
actual
it as,
ones.
as house cleaning. Did we talk about that? I did that with my mom. Like, I took all the broken jewelry she had, and she took it down to the gold store and sold it, and got like a shit ton of money of all these just little, like a earring, one earring, a little piece of a bracelet.
you're
that's
selling
broken.
gold. Yeah.
Yeah, you make a lot of money.
But for me, it's like the coin. My pop gave it to me, so I'm just kind of like,
Keep one and sell the rest.
I'm not motivated to, unless I needed the $900. That's the thing. You get to a certain point in life where you have $900 in your bank account, and then it's like, okay, well, I don't need this $900. It's not like I need, so it's like the motivation's not there to go through the process of, because I don't even know who the hell I sell them to or eBay or like it's a lot of work.
What you're saying is right, because at the time I was selling my watches, I needed money. So, yes, there was motivation involved to do that.
Also, like how the market works is like, yeah, you can look up the price of something or what it's worth, but like we've all watched Pawn Stars. You go to Pawn Stars and they need to make a profit, so they are gonna offer you 35% less than that number you saw on the internet, So you got to be prepared for that. And then it's like, do you go to a pawn shop? Do you put it in the open market on eBay? Do you take it to a card store or there's lots of different ways to sell these things, and it's hard to find out the exact value.
These are the ones I like. Ghost of a New Bull says, I had a CM Punk variant Funko Pop I held on to for a long time. I sold it as soon as he went back to WWE because I knew the value would tank since they'll make more. Bought it for $8, sold it for $300 on eBay.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. Here comes Tuds. There he is. Oh, I like the all black. Oh, hold on.
How are you?
Well, you always sound the best, dude. Let me turn you up just a little bit. Talk a little bit again.
Check.
Perfect.
Manageable vegetable.
Perfect. You're a pro. How you been, man?
I'm good. Just got back from Tampa.
How's it going over there?
Good. Very, very well.
Good.
Doing 2 shows now.
Nice.
Me
You're
and,
doing Stoner and Loner too, right?
Yep. And Tuddle and Kristen.
Oh, how's that going? You got it off the ground. Awesome, dude.
Yeah, we've done 3 shows. Second most downloaded show on the network right
Hell
now.
yeah. I'll listen today. That's incredible. Congrats. That's really cool.
How are you, Mr. Tom Van?
Good. We were just talking. Have you ever sold any collectibles that you had that were valuable of any sort, baseball cards or some shit like that?
Yeah, I got that. I got a lot of stuff. Guns, collectibles. My dad, you wouldn't believe all the guns my dad left me.
Yeah, but do you want to sell because they're nostalgic and like?
Let's buy some guns from Tuddle live on the show today. Are we allowed to do that? Can we do that? Let's do.
No,
let's.
but my dad has 2 matching Army Colt revolvers.
You should wear those on your. You should wear one on each side. One on each side.
Hold on, the Army revolvers from what?
Here, hold on.
Oh, don't shoot yourself.
From like, are you talking about the 70s? Was your dad in the military?
Hey, you can't show guns on Twitch.
You didn't hear you.
Well, I'll turn them off. We can look at it, but we can't put it on Twitch.
Yeah.
I'm not getting this suspended.
Yeah.
Hey, you can't put that on Twitch, but I have you off Twitch. But like you look like a psycho right now. Hold on, let me screenshot this.
Oh yeah, that's like a goddamn cowboy revolver.
I screenshotted it. Okay, we're good. No, my God, don't do that.
How much are those worth?
Those are pretty cool.
I gotta put my headphones on.
Yeah, no, you're good. You're good.
How much are those worth?
I don't know, but I'm one to go get them. I would never sell them, but like they're like antiques, man.
Well, what if they're worth like
I'd wear
400
'em.
grand? You'd sell them, right?
Oh yeah.
I'd get a couple.
Well, don't say never to me.
I'd get a couple holsters and I'd start wearing those around the day job.
Yeah.
It's interesting what the value someone puts to a keepsake or something from your parents or whatever, because like
Mine's terrible. I have no value of anything.
when
Like,
you
really.
when you get to a certain level, I feel like everybody has their breaking point. And they're like, well,
Yeah.
for that I'll sell it.
Yeah.
My mom or dad or whoever
Most
would
of
have
the
wanted me
time-
to.
I mean, mine is low too. Most of the time, mine's like as low as like 25K, 10K.
My dad used to do a bunch of McDonald's, and he would bring home Ronald McDonald heads.
What do you mean heads?
Like they would refurbish, and it would be like the old style, like Ronald McDonald, like the statues they would have.
Yeah. Do you have any?
Yeah, I got a couple of them in storage.
I want a Ronald McDonald head from your father. I'll purchase one and put a. You know what I'll do for your dad? I'll put a MAGA hat on it. He'd love that. He would love it. I feel like he would love that. He would go like, Daniel was my favorite.
He did leave me all of his MAGA hats.
I know
too.
he did, and you don't get rid of them either. Those are his, not yours. Those are his. And you just look at it, put one on Ronald, and put the guns. Okay.
Hold on, how do you get the head from the
He sawed it off.
restaurant?
The Mexican sawed it off.
Yeah, you steal it?
No, I mean my
They're
dad would
throwing it out.
refurbish. He could do at McDonald's and get it done beginning to end.
I remember
like,
you telling me that your dad would bring home the picnic furniture, right, from the McDonald's?
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
But refurbish it for resale or for his own collection?
No, just keep him off his stuff. He would also Burger King stuff and just any of the fast food stuff.
We're
Like,
burning
he-
good stuff. We should be talking about this.
All right,
All right,
yeah,
we're gonna
sorry.
get going because I had a. Okay, here we go.
Is this for terrestrial?
Yeah,
or-
yeah,
Yeah,
we-
yeah, yeah. All
Okay,
right,
I just want to make sure.
all right, here we go. And 3, 2.
Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan.
It's the new year, and we have a gentleman on the show that's doing,
Yeah.
I would say, maybe the best I've seen in
Yeah.
the last 10 years.
I wrote
or
him a
so.
song. I wrote him a theme song.
Okay, all right,
Okay, you
let's hear
ready?
it. Yeah,
Ladies
yeah.
and gentlemen, with the first theme song. And I went hard in this one.
Okay.
I'm trying to make him laugh. Here we go. It is the new Tuddle theme song.
His parents are dead and
come
he lives all alone. And I think his day job involves the cellular phone. All he ever wanted was a slam hog to bone. It's Tuddle. Just Tuddle. He inflated a balloon up inside of his anus.
Oh, come on.
Of the radio stunt boys, this man is the greatest. He's gonna snap one day. We're just glad he don't hate us. It's Tuddle. Just Tuddle. Tuddle, Tuddle, Tuddle. King of the stunts. Why do you let the love sponge play with your butt? Tuddle, Tuddle, Tuddle. Fight, fight, fight.
That's for your dad.
We all liked you better when your anus was tight.
There we go. Brand new theme song for our good friend Tuddle.
Did we even say that?
I don't know. I don't know if we can or not. I think we can.
It's
I think I'll
2025,
fade it out
yeah.
so we can talk to Tuddle here.
How you doing, Tuddle?
Love that. I'm doing fine.
You look great.
It was great seeing you guys at the Sofa and Suds event.
You did a great
And-
job, man. That wasn't any. I don't blame that on the team. Somebody got injured. That was hard. You guys did great.
But one of the oddest things is I love, like, Tom, but at the time it was Drunky. He had his group of friends, and it weirds me out when I see, like, people that used to be called Porno Joe or whatever, and they got a bunch of kids running around big, and then I haven't seen the Wizard in a while. But it just always fascinates me how everybody finally grew up.
Yeah.
100%.
Everybody's got gray hair and the whole
I don't
family
think Tuddle, you
with
don't have any
kids
grays,
and-
do you?
I get it in my facial hair, and that's it. Like, and I do have some gray on top of the head, but my hair just stays so thick.
Yeah, you got a lot of hair. You gonna grow it out? You gonna grow it long again?
Probably. I've gone with the skinhead thing. I've gone with the white Christian nationalist haircut.
Yeah, let's not do
as of
that.
recent.
Yeah, the hard cut. It's a hard cut.
Yeah, it's weird having like you lifelong friends and being the same way you are with them when you were a teenager, and then also 45 years old. And then you realize, you're like, oh, I always thought when I saw like my dad's friends hanging out, or like I see old people that were friends for all life, they're all just standing around drinking, and I'm like, they're seeing the same, they feel the same way they did 50 years ago with these people, because they all have the same personality. They're the same people. They're just older.
I think I know what you're saying. Tell me if this is accurate.
I thought
Like,
people changed when they got older, and they don't.
Tell me if this is what you're saying, sort of, but from a different perspective. When I'm standing, like let's say I'm sitting on the balcony with a beer with Dansby, I feel like a young man sitting on the balcony with my dog. But I think everybody looking at me looks as if they were looking at my father doing the same thing, and they're like, look at that old man having a beer. Right?
Yeah. And I just assumed that old people, or like whatever that means to you, is subjective. Obviously,
Sure, it is.
if you're a
It's different for
teenager, if
everybody.
you're 40,
Right.
if you're
70.
Like if you're 70, there's like, oh, this guy's old, 102.
Yeah.
But I assumed that they were different people. Like they weren't the same inside for whatever reason. Like you got to your 60s and somehow you had a different personality, or you just became this different person because you're old. That sounds ridiculous, but that's how I used to think. And then I was like, oh, it's the same person that was 20.
You don't really
he just
change
has
much.
an old body. His brain is the same. He's got the same personality. Obviously, maybe a little bit different because he's older, but I'm saying the core of that person is the same.
Sure.
And that's what I realized with my friends. Anyway.
At what point do you start talking to your kids like adults? Like I remember the first time my dad would tell dirty stories or about women. he
Oh,
banged
like in
or-
Landman. Have you guys seen that? Have you guys seen the
Yeah,
show?
the Landman's good.
Are you watching? Did you
What
see
is that?
the conversation between Landman and his daughter?
Hold on. What's Landman?
It's the
It's
new
Billy Bob
Yellowstone. You're
Thornton.
not watching that? Me and Tuddle are watching it. No big deal. Don't worry about it.
It's a new Yellowstone?
It's the new Yellowstone, and it's graphic. It's horrible. The first episode, Landman is talking to his daughter, and then he says, "Be careful. Are you guys being careful?" And she's, "Are you having sex?" He's talking to his daughter, and then she's like, "Daddy, we're just, yes, of course we're being careful. We've worked out an agreement." And then the father's like, Billy Bob is like, "Well, maybe I shouldn't ask this, but what is this agreement?" And she's like, "As long as he doesn't blank inside me, he can blank wherever he wants."
All right.
And then Billy Bob looks at her and goes, "I'm going to go get a Dr. Pepper."
Yeah.
That's a pretty good Billy Bob. I thought that was a pretty good Billy Bob Thornton. I thought that was a pretty good Billy Bob Thornton.
I remember when my dad admitted that they were both married when they met each other, and like
Oh, that's scandalous.
Yeah, their infidelity, or my dad talking about fights. He got sued because this drunk woman slapped him in the face, and I think he knocked all of her teeth out.
Oh,
at the
yeah.
trail.
Sometimes you got to do that.
Yeah.
brass
Fighting
rail,
women was fine for him too.
It's in the
DNA.
blood. Yeah.
And then they had special words. He would go there with his crew, and he would just whisper to his right hand man. He would say axe handle, and that's when they would put the axe handle at the back door of the bar, in case
Your
things
dad
went
had
down.
your dad had to cheat on and beat some ass. I like that.
So,
I like
but
that.
and Mom, she talked about having to get hosed down because she overheated on mushrooms at a concert one time, and she was wearing a sundress, and my dad was like, it was the sundress was wet and sticking to her breast and everything, and I'm like, Dad,
Slow down. My God, fight.
And
can you
he's
see
telling
the bush through the
Stop
sundress?
it. Stop it.
And he's telling
he
you
got that
this
thigh gap.
as an 8-year-old Tuddle. Like, how old were you?
You're like a 6-year-old having an apple in the truck on the way to the. He's telling you
dump.
about the wet sundress clinging to your mother's heaving bosom.
Yeah, but that was about 15, 16.
All right.
All right. Oh, I
okay.
guess that's about right. Yeah, that's about right. I remember my dad telling me jokes. I remember my dad telling me the dirtiest jokes. He would stay away from the sexual jokes, but most of the other jokes I would get for the most part.
Are you ever going to share stories from counterparts or your stunting days? Like,
You know,
Daddy,
that's true.
Tom, please
I've
tell
never
us.
asked you that because I don't want to fly too close to the sun and because I have too much respect for you and your boys. But do they know that you, like, they don't know how...
You peed on a homeless man.
They don't know that you peed on homeless people, right?
No, it wasn't a homeless person. It was a guy that was drunk at a frat party. But
Who happened to be homeless.
who happened to wander down the street. First of all, no,
We
I
ever
will
let him
not.
watch it.
I'm going to go get a Dr. Pepper.
I assume they eventually will watch it, but they'll
Tame
be old.
compared.
They'll be older.
Yeah.
Like all the other stuff they'll learn on YouTube, and like
Yeah.
through chat rooms on Roblox. I heard
Oh,
that.
yeah. That's where the pedophiles are.
Yeah. So they'll
Yeah.
learn all
I'm
that
letting
stuff.
the pedophiles on Roblox raise my children.
Yeah. And through anime, which apparently my sons are watching TV mature anime.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And
That's where they get the squid tentacles.
And Tommy said the only nudity he saw was a guy that was
Thank God it's just a penis.
sitting crisscross applesauce, but he was hiding his
Can you guys
genitals.
hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
No?
we got you. We got you.
I lost you completely, though.
Okay.
I know.
Out, log back in. Sorry.
It's
Damn
fine.
it.
No, it's fine. Oh, don't get mad. You're fine. You're fine.
Anyway,
Is it better now?
Yeah.
Do you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, we're
Sorry.
good.
Enough
No, you're
about
fine.
me,
You're fine.
Tuddle. I need to find out why your dad was collecting fast food memorabilia from fast food
Well,
stores.
it wasn't just fast food memorabilia. It was the head of Ronald McDonald.
Mm-hmm.
Now, did he have to cut the head off because it was the whole statue, right? And he just collected the heads?
Well, the whole statue was filled with like cement or concrete, and the head was hollow. So they couldn't get the whole thing out of the ground. So he would just cut off Ronald McDonald's head and bring it home to me. And
It's very
he
Jebediah
wa-
Springfield, right? That's a Jebediah Springfield move.
With like a McDonald's that was being like torn down, or would he just do it?
No, it's
for,
not
like,
huge. The chat room doesn't okay. Remember when you would go to McDonald's as a young boy and there'd be a bench and then there'd be a cross-legged Ronald McDonald sitting there with his leg over his
Okay, yeah.
and then you'd go sit next to him and your mom and dad wouldn't have a camera because we didn't have camera phones and they'd be like, "Oh, that's a great memory we can think of later."
Yeah,
right?
You're right.
So then I think Tuddle's dad was like, "Look at that gay ass clown doll. I'm gonna cut its head off," and he cut its head off and he would break. Am I right?
Yeah, here, I'm going to just show
There
you.
it is.
This is the exact one.
I want one of those.
Wow, that's scary.
That's badass. That's badass.
That is
That's
terrifying.
Awesome. That's awesome.
So he'd bring these home and he'd like be like, "Look at it, gotcha, son."
Got Ronald McDonald's hand.
Weird.
Long
is the
John
greatest
Silver's
story.
used to have these like pirate's chest or booty chest that you could
Yes,
get.
yes. They
at
put the
front.
kids menus. The kids menus are in them, dude. You are sparking memories in my brain. You'd go into Long John Silver's and you'd walk through the queue. And then at the end, there'd be a treasure chest, and you'd open it up, and inside of it would be the little the menu, and then you get a hat.
Okay, I think I remember
And
this.
you put the hat on your head, and then you get the kid menu, and you'd get, oh God, this is awesome. Did you get a treasure chest?
Yes,
say it.
yeah, I had the treasure chest, and then
You
do you
can say it.
remember Burger King had like the kids group, and it was like kids. You had one black kid, one Spanish kid, and then they threw in a handicapped kid.
Yeah, there was Wheels.
in a wheelchair called Wheels.
The black kid was like basketball. That's
was
how they
very
did it. That's how they
stereotypical.
did it. The Latin kid was like, like hola.
Yeah.
Like, don't do that.
And
Come on.
to this day, still holds up. They were right about their stereotypes.
I think there was a nerd that was like, this is Whiz Kid.
Yeah.
Also, California Raisin, Lifestyle California Raisins from Hardee's. Remember?
Yeah.
They had that whole crossover.
My
I
dad-
don't know.
That was
I
the
know
biggest collectible in the Dennis household were the Hardee's California Raisins. My father had every single iteration of the Hardee's California Raisins, all of them.
Wasn't there Leader of the Moon?
No, you're thinking Mac Tonight.
Oh, yeah.
You're
yeah,
thinking
yeah.
Mac
Okay,
Tonight.
Okay, yeah.
But they were all like, you'd have one California raisin with a ghetto blaster.
Yeah,
like,
one with a
on shoulder.
saxophone. They all had like
Yeah.
white gloves on.
Yeah, because it was like.
They look sort of racist, if you're just being honest.
Was this the end of the 80s or in this 90s?
This would have been the end of the 80s. Hold
Okay.
on, I'll look it up.
So
I'll
your
look it
dad
up.
collected this stuff and gave it to you as presents? How did it work?
Well, I mean, he would be gone all the time, and he would bring these stuff. He would bring these collectibles from like, I know it sounds lame that I got a bunch of fast food memorabilia junk in a storage unit somewhere.
That
but
must
I mean,
be a DeLand thing because my dad, too, because he traveled. My dad would always bring me fast food junk. Like, it was California Raisins. I'd get Potato Head Kids from Wendy's. I'd get the McNuggets from McDonald's. Because my dad was on the road, and I'm sure that's probably led to his heart attack, was that he's working hard and driving all around selling tax guides and eating garbage, right?
Also, my mom loved. You remember when they would give you like collectible glassware
Yeah.
from some of the fast food places?
Yeah.
And
I still have a lot of mine.
Alvin and the Chipmunks. We like 3 or 4 years in a row we had collected like all of them, even the Chipettes. Is that what they called them? The female version.
Yeah, they were the Chipettes. I always thought they were kind of hot. Is that bad?
I wanted to get that squirrel.
Well, I think they deliberately made them look like that.
Yeah. They're
Like, I like the chubbier one, the one that was like
Yeah,
Velma. I
thick.
like thick Velma,
Yeah,
thick Velma chipmunk.
a thick monk.
And I
here.
think it's okay because I'm about the size of a chipmunk.
So,
So,
you want
know,
the thick
I
chipmunk?
wanted the thicker chipmunk with the glasses. I forget her
They
name.
put a lot of stuff in their cheeks.
Yeah, man.
So you have a storage unit filled with the stuff?
Yeah, and then a lot of baseball collectible stuff that I
God, we
have.
were just talking to
Like-
Cadillac Pat about that. We got to get you and Cadillac Pat together. What do you think is the coolest piece of memorabilia you have?
I have a game-used Chipper Jones bat.
Wow. You and Pat sitting on these treasures. A game-used Chipper Jones bat. One of, if not, the greatest brave.
How much do you think you can get for that? Or maybe because it's not certified that you couldn't get as
Oh,
much?
I got the picture of him giving it to me and signing the same exact bat.
Oh, okay, all right, there it is. So how much have you looked up what it's worth? Because throughout the time I've known you, Tuddle, there's been some hard
I've never
times.
heard this.
No. There's been some. I'm sure you were tempted to sell that, right, for money.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And then also a lot of collectibles. We had an artist, Fred Messersmith, who was the lead art teacher at Stetson University.
I know the name, yeah.
And I was looking at some of the, I just was like, these aren't worth anything. And then I looked it up after he died. I think the one I got is like worth like $9,000.
Yeah, I was gonna say your bat could be worth in upwards of 5 to 7. If you have all the pictures of you like with Chipper and everything, yeah, that's a lot of money, dude.
Yeah, you're gonna be sitting
You
on
should frame that.
tens of thousands of dollars. I mean,
like
that
we're trying
McDonald's head is. I mean, people collect weird things like that.
We're
like-
trying to talk people, our friends, out of their treasures. Sell all your treasures.
What? I mean, just use the money to live. You're just gonna die.
You make good money, right? You don't need any money.
No, I'm right now, like, well,
Loaded.
it's all in comparison. Like, for the longest time working at radio, I made hardly any money at all.
Right.
None. Working this job now, in comparison, like, I don't have to worry about money right now. I'm not rich, but I'm also saving for the first time in my life.
What are you saving
and
for,
I got
jet
all
ski?
these investments.
What are you saving for?
I have no family. I have nobody to leave it to. I'm just going to be a crazy old man that my cat's gonna eat me.
Yes.
Will you leave? Will you just leave me your money, please? I always think about
You
that.
know
like,
what? You got to shoot your shot.
yeah.
You got to shoot your. I told you this yesterday,
yeah.
right? I was like, it's like,
'Cause
look, what's the worst he can do? He could just say no.
I know.
Make a case for it right now.
Okay.
You have 2 minutes.
All right. Well, let's. As a fellow stuntman,
Okay, I like that. That's a good opening.
Who cut his teeth in the radio stunt boy industry?
Yeah.
I feel like there's only so many different fellow radio stuntmen you could leave it to. You can't leave it to Whopper. He's too rich. He doesn't need it.
He doesn't want it. He left that life. He's not about that life.
He's flying around in private jets and beer jets.
He's
He got
soft
that
now.
beer money.
He's soft now.
Yeah, and
I'll make you a deal. All right. My new company that I'm working for, they pay.
You're working for
all
Papa
my-
These Nuts now, right? the flavored nut company.
No, but they're paying for my health insurance, but they're also paying for my life insurance policy, which I don't have anybody to leave it to. What I'm saying is, I would love to leave my life insurance payout to the Tom and Dan show.
No, okay, that's what I'm talking
and
about.
we want it.
Yeah, we do want
We
it.
want everybody's money.
And we'll do.
What do you need?
What
do you need us to do?
We'll use it in your memory, and we'll
Like college education? For
No,
your-
no, hell no.
What if we did? What if we set up the first ever Patrick Fowler stunt fund?
Okay, all right.
To help fund people that will
The future stunt boys.
future stunt boys that
stunters?
we want uneducated future Central Florida stunt boys that we.
But it'd be like social media centric, right? Because there's
No, there's no
radio.
schooling whatsoever. Yeah, you're right.
But
You're right.
it'd be like stunt boys for social media. Like they live out there.
Yeah.
Like
They're-
there's the guys that jump off.
There's I was gonna say Cadillac Pat, but Supreme Patty,
Yeah,
Daddy
yeah.
Long Neck, Wide Neck.
Yeah. Now,
What about a Shark Tank for stunters? After I die, you take the insurance money and people pitch you ideas for stunts that you guys can fund.
God, you got the goods. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
It's
We
20
could do,
grand.
You could do that.
Is my life insurance.
20
So it's 20 grand.
No, that's not a lot.
What can someone do with that?
God, I can go, well, anyway, you keep it. You're good. You're good. You keep
Okay.
it. You keep it.
There's only 20
I
grand.
thought we were gonna get
It's
some.
free.
Yeah. That'll barely
Yeah.
pay for your
Yeah.
cremation. You understand how much the
Stuff's
funeral
expensive.
cremation?
Oh, he knows. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
I
It's
want
great.
you to- I've done 2 of them recently.
Yeah.
And they're sitting there, and I feel weird. I don't want to be that guy.
Did you mix them?
15 Huh?
Did you mix them?
No.
I
don't
mixed
even
my
wanna
mom and
open them
dad.
up.
I mixed my mom and dad.
Did they want that?
Yeah,
All right.
they did.
I'm afraid I'm gonna find a Lane Bone or like that
Yeah.
would freak me out. Like mixing
like
it
you
together.
Go
and
with it, mix
finding
them
out.
together, and a
No.
tooth falls out. You're like, oh my god.
They don't even. I mean, it's just regular.
I think they just put dirt in there. I think it's a scam. I don't even
Yeah.
know what they did with it.
Yeah.
They literally could have stuffed their
Yeah.
bodies in a cannon and shot them into the moon.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And am I getting other people's remains in there too?
Could
Yeah,
be.
it's a
Could
mixture
be.
of whatever's in the bottom.
Yeah, but I don't really care. I'm
I
fine
mean, there's
with it.
no one's
Yeah.
testing it. Like if
Yeah.
I ran a
You know why I know
crematorium.
that? Chimp crazy. They didn't test it.
Yeah. No, of course not. Yeah, like you're just getting ashes. No one ever questions it, and it's all ceremonial anyway. Anyway, all right, back to the valuables you have.
Yeah.
What? It feels like you should sell them, and then I know you don't need the money right now, but everybody needs money. You could upgrade your car,
He's
your
got a new.
truck.
Don't you have a new truck?
I am gonna get one, but I'm still riding out my dad's truck, so
Yeah.
up to 265,000 miles now. So I'm just gonna drive it until it dies.
Yeah. Well, that is
Like
gonna
you
die
did.
soon.
Yeah,
Because
it's probably writing on the wall coming.
my truck stalled out yesterday at Lowe's.
Oh,
I almost got out and started pushing it, and then it started back up.
This
and I
is
was
like the 5th time. You've been
and I'm
having
about to pay it off too.
Yeah.
Like
That's the way it worked.
I know.
I
know.
think there's like a clock in there or something.
Daniel, are you okay? I heard that.
Yeah, I
you-
wrecked my car. So, yeah, I'm fine. It's just, and then my wife's all yelling at me. She's like, we're getting all this mail about
you got to take her class and all this kind of stuff. And she's like, maybe you should talk to Mo. That cop, I don't know what she's. Maybe it wasn't your fault. We got to get Mo on the case.
Well, he's not a traffic attorney.
Yeah.
You call him when you get paralyzed by
Exactly.
Walmart.
I'm not paralyzed.
I mean, that's not his message. I'm just saying that's the message.
I would dial with my nose. Dial with your nose.
Yeah, you get a minor fender bender. You don't want you to call him.
No, you don't need it.
So Tuddle, what you started some new shows. Tell me about your new
Man,
shows.
walk us through your shows.
You finally started with Kristen, right?
Yes, myself and Chris. And if you guys have any good ideas for names, I think, doing the 90s thing where you just put the name of the two people on, I think that's dumb. No offense, guys. You guys have a mediocre time in front of it. I need something catchy. I need something good.
No, I got you. How about this bitch left me?
No, come on. What about I got it?
I'm just trying. I go hard first to see if you want to pull them in.
It's okay.
She's not a bitch. I didn't mean it like that. I'm just trying to go spicy.
You know the movie Meet the Falkers, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is Meet the Fowlers.
Meet the Fowlers.
Because your ex still has your last name, and so but then that's the weird part is like they're not married.
Right.
They're divorced, but they still are both Fowlers.
So you call it, why did you keep my name?
No, it's a Meet the Fowlers. That's write that down.
I'm going to admit something to you guys right now.
No.
And please don't judge. We technically are still married.
Why are you admitting it on the
why
show?
would you do this on the show?
You tell that off the show.
Yeah, you don't say that on the show.
Hold on, what do you mean you're technically still married? You've been not together for how many? I mean,
like 20 years.
It's got to be more than a decade, right?
2014. So yeah, 10 years, 10 plus years.
Wow.
Never got around to it.
You never got around
Well,
to
he
it.
identifies with that. I mean, that he's like, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. But then, so you both you're still legally married?
Yes.
Wow.
Okay. So, hold on. So technically, your life
Then
insurance.
call it that. Call it we're still legally married.
Your life insurance would go to her.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Your legal spouse.
Yeah, it would
Does
go
it
to
have to though?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that is the way it's designed to.
It's a business contract.
Yeah.
Your marriage.
I understand that, but do I want her knowing that it's going to her? And like, what if something happened to me?
I don't know.
Like,
I mean, you got a bunch of guns at Ronald McDonald's head. You're fine.
She knows you're still legally married. When something happens to you, she's going to be like, well, I'm entitled to everything he owns.
Give me all that stuff.
Yeah, I get that Ronald head.
Give me those Ronalds.
No, you guys think I'm BSing you.
No,
but
I'm not.
yeah,
No, I don't.
mean, we've been really, really cool. It could backfire on me, but just as long as you don't tell her about the life insurance, I'm going to be fine.
Oh, I'm not going to tell her. I haven't talked to her.
Well,
in
she's not
7
going to kill
years.
you. So this is interesting, though, because
But she's very pretty. I would help her kill him.
She watches all the true crime shows. She loves Dateline, Keith Morrison, all those people. Like, she goes to CrimeCon.
Now, okay.
Oh, yeah, she's doing her work.
So
these things take time, like the Idaho murderer. I think he planned that for years.
So I'm serious about this. I know I've heard of another couple that basically things didn't work out. They separated and then they lived apart for years, similar to your situation, and they never got legally divorced because they just never got around to it.
That's what he just said.
No, I know. And then I always thought like, well, because I also know
I love
people.
how the chat room is saying this isn't true, and then other people in the chat room are like, "I listened to Bubba this morning. It's true."
Yeah, there's
there you go.
Because it's not if you are like sometimes divorces are hard when one party doesn't want to settle with the negotiations, so they refuse to sign because they feel like, like when it gets complicated, money.
Like in the movie Twister. Remember in the movie Twister when Bill Paxton, or was it Pullman? Paxton was trying to get... I always used to think after watching that movie, both people had to sign or they stayed married no matter what.
No, I know. That's what it made it
Yeah,
seem like.
I'm not signing.
Yeah. It turns out that you don't need to really sign. Like
No,
you can get
no.
a
It's like,
legal.
sorry, I don't want to live here anymore.
But so now there is easier ways as long as you both agree to nullify a marriage. In fact, there's paperwork where it's just like, I'm just going to, like, it's almost like this
I'm
thing.
walking away backwards with my hands up.
Yeah, like we're separate. We're going to sign the paperwork, or I think you could even do it online now. Like if they both parties sign
You
it.
can do almost everything online now.
Yeah. And so it's not hard unless there's complications.
Yeah.
So I know you never got around to it, but was there any other reason? Like, did you think, well, maybe
I was
there's.
thinking there could be a chance down the road.
All right.
Yeah.
Now we're going to get into it.
Yeah.
Because I'll sponge it up too.
Yeah.
Because
Do you think there's a chance? I'm ready to poop in the bucket. Like I have the bucket right here.
Yeah, well, you're doing a show now together. This feels weird having this conversation open, but
Yeah.
I know you had it
Oh,
on
he's
the
calm
sponge.
as a cucumber. Look at him. I mean, we're freaking out.
I try to bring something to the table every time you guys have me on.
You do.
I like that.
You always do.
That's why you're the man.
You're the pro. You're
Yeah.
like that's why.
Personal information.
Yeah.
This is.
He's literally selling himself out for
What do I got to lose?
your entertainment. So
My life insurance.
let's talk about the show. How is the show going?
It's going very, very well. We are open about talking about things. You know, people she's been with, people I've been with. You know,
Wow, you guys
the
talk
changes.
about that on the show? I'm gonna have
Yeah.
to tune into this, man. This is good.
I mean, is that not interesting?
It's
I think
very
it's
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
it's
do you
very
tell
interesting.
each other like?
Yeah, it's like his D was so humongous.
I see the video. Some people like record. They like that.
Yeah,
They
some
go,
people do like that.
Tell me about your date.
Tell me, shame me.
And then I'll clean it up.
I'm not a cock.
He's
no,
not a
no,
cuck.
no,
He's
I'm
not a
not
cuck.
saying that. I'm just saying
No
what
one
I've seen.
said that.
I've seen it in the videos. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, but I mean, we've both grown a lot. We both are more open about things than what we were in the past.
What would you say the main reason? Have you guys discussed just off the rip of the show, like what you think the main reason why you guys didn't last was? Do you touch on any of that?
A lot of it had to do with me. You know, that was the phase in my life where accidents would happen to me, where I had to go to the doctor and get medication.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I remember those. I remember you asking me to perform an accident on you one time. I think you asked me to slam your arm in a door one time.
I like to call that phase
And I
blue
did
meanie
it.
time.
I did it because I love you and you're my friend.
Yeah. Full disclosure,
Yeah.
Tuddle did give me and Daniel his pain pills
Yeah.
at the radio station.
If I slammed his arm in a door, he'd give me 5, and I'd be like, "Well, that's."
It was a different time. It was 2006.
And you cut
We
him in
didn't
half.
know.
You cut it 5 in half. You got 10. I don't know if you know.
I'm
that.
like, this one got extra speckles. That's how you know we're good.
The blue meanies were the 10 milligram ones and
Yeah.
less of that acetaminophen in it.
I like
So
those ones that would ramp you up so high at the radio station that I'd get nauseous for 3 seconds because it was like a wash.
Yeah, that's
It's-
the speckle.
Yeah, it's the
speckle
speckles. The
gotcha.
speckles is like woo, and you're like, oh man, that's a good one.
Oh, it's so great. I mean, I would sometimes just go to public places and just watch people.
Yeah,
There's nothing
you
better
don't have to
than-
even do anything. That's the thing about pain pills. You don't have to do anything on them. You're just like, go, whoa.
So good.
Yeah,
Especially
it is.
with
It is.
coffee.
It is. Thanks a lot,
Makes you
Rick
poop.
Scott.
But then you fall asleep standing up and your face hits the sub.
Oh, that's called the lean. I've seen a lot of people lean.
I never got there. I'm not. That's way out of my.
You went too far.
Yeah, you went way too far.
Subway lady, you're passing out, standing up.
How do you put tomatoes on a sub while you're asleep?
Yeah. You gotta
And
just.
then the fun part is when you get two drugs on the opposite end of the spectrum, when they fight each other in your body. Like when you do a Adderall 30 milligram with a good perk, like they're fighting each other. It's like
Yeah.
a white trash speedball.
Yeah, it's like literally like having an MMA fight in your brain.
But those times are done, Tuddle, and now.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So
No, you can't go back.
You can't go back, or you'll never get her back. Are you trying to get her back?
If it happened, it happened. It would be great, but like I'm having fun right now, and I'll leave it at that.
Okay,
A lot.
that's fair. That's fair.
And of course he does. Just like Pat, Tuddle, there's a theme here
Yeah.
that no one
I
wants
want
to
all
be
my
lonely.
ex-girlfriends back.
No,
Oh.
no. I'm just saying that you don't want to be alone. And as you get older, you start
like being
yearning for Well, because you want the other part.
Yeah.
I want to be alone too.
I love being
but
alone.
we're in a house filled with people. We
never
can
alone.
never be alone.
Never alone.
You always want the other side. But if you're alone, you want the companionship of a partner. And that's
have you ever experienced true loneliness? Because you've been with somebody your whole life.
Yeah,
wow.
I've never lived alone in my entire life.
Tuddle, that's a really good question.
I went from my mom's house to roommates with the Grizz and Pudge,
Yeah.
and then roommates with my wife, and then now
Yeah.
that's it. Forever.
Wow. So you've never
I lived at a race shop.
that's
for 2
that's
years.
cool. It is weird though. There is a weirdness to being by yourself because I've done it. Like I remember the first house I had in Deltona. There was a weirdness to locking everything up and turning everything off when it's just you.
Yeah.
It's weird.
I went to that house. You had a pile of cigarettes. And
Yeah.
you
Pizza,
live
beer
like a
cans everywhere.
psycho.
Yeah, I live like a psycho.
And,
I did.
I remember thinking to myself, like, I don't want to end up like this.
You're like, this guy's a psycho. He's a lonely psycho.
yeah. You end up being a lonely psycho. So
There would be some days I wouldn't even get dressed. Just walk around the house like a nudist.
Yeah, I would too. It is kind of fun having that.
well, that's what lonely psychos do.
Yeah, they walk around naked.
But then you can't do it with the cat because the cat will try to make biscuits on your beanbag.
All right.
What are you talking about?
So
You know how they do the claw thing
Yeah,
when
yeah,
they try
yeah.
to get there?
How is your cat? Your cat doing all right?
Oh, she's good. She's
All right.
good. She's good.
Good. Well, it's glad to hear about the new shows. Tell us about the second one. So you have we're
Loner
trying to
and
think
Stoner
of
is the other one.
we're trying to think of a name, right, for the Tuddle and Kristen show. Is that what it's called, or
Yeah.
okay?
Meet the Fowlers is good.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
It's not bad at all.
Or
Or I can't believe I'm still married.
yeah. So Loner and Stoner, is that basically the comedy
Colton.
show?
It's with me and Colton.
Oh, Colton.
Okay.
Yeah, I love Colton. Colton's
Yeah.
good.
So we do that one, and then I do the terrestrial show once or twice a week.
Gotcha. How are things going with Bubba? How was the content house? Everything work out okay?
Oh, the content house was great. It was a lot of fun. We're gonna do another one, but I think we're gonna do Volusia County.
Oh, that's gonna get good. If you do Volusia County, you call us.
And Gene Lasker, who
Yes.
has won more Sprint Cup car races, not races,
Right.
in the state of Florida. I showed him the video from Sofa and Suds. He's going to build one next year.
Oh, that's
No,
great.
really?
Oh my God. Awesome to have a Love Sponge car in there. That'd be pretty cool. Make it crazier. I'm in. That'd be rad. Let us know if you need any help.
Now,
All right.
so Tuddle, are you making some money from your podcast? Are they on the Love Sponge network, right?
Yes, I'm making money off of that, but I
Nice.
mean, I'm making the bulk of my money from doing the recruiting, the HR stuff. We just picked up. I don't even know if I could talk about that.
Don't
but,
get in trouble.
replacing a bunch of people that are on strike. You know.
Oh yeah, I love doing that.
The
Yeah,
scabs?
Yeah, I love crossing the picket line. My dad always said that. He's like, when they go on strike, boy, you cross the line and steal their job. I was like, yes, sir, Dad.
They'll throw vegetables at you,
Yeah.
but that's fine.
But what I say, free vegetables.
You know how easy my job could have been back in the day, like before there was like no OSHA or any safety regulations. That people, like when they were building the Empire State Building, there were like hundreds of people waiting down at the ground level for somebody to fall off the building, and then it was just like, all right, you're next.
So yeah, they would just wait till someone
Yeah.
to die. and
Well,
then
they learned
they're-
that from the pyramids, I feel like, right? Like,
Yeah,
isn't that
yeah.
how? I mean, I feel like it's only really modern times where, and even then, it's still happening. Like, what was it 2 years ago? And where was it where they did the World Cup, and it was like that, where people are just
Qatar.
Qatar.
Oh,
People are
yeah.
just falling off the building, and they'd be like, "Oh, that guy's dead. You gotta go paint.
Next slave
Yeah,
up.
Get paint."
There is social media content about OSHA violations that I see on TikTok when I'm scrolling. Like it's like people in construction sites down in the ditch, and
And it's not shored up. There's no wood, no walls, and I'm like, if this collapses this guy's getting buried alive.
Yeah, those are terrifying to
And
me.
then the guy's down there not even scared.
No,
Like, he is
we
down-
saw some of those guys at Publix earlier.
He's just hammering a pipe, and I'm like, oh my god, like they couldn't pay you enough to risk your life like that.
Does
like,
he know what he's hammering?
yeah. He may
Oh.
not understand the danger he's in, but and OSHA shows up and they're filming him.
Listen, there were these two older, they must have been in their 50s. They were still welders from Alabama, two brothers. Their work output sucked before lunchtime. They could not weld a straight line. Lunchtime, liquid lunch, guys got all types of stuff done, hammered off of their asses, getting up there, but they got a lot of work done. And then everybody wanted to work on the roof because that was the pot smoking group.
Yeah.
We would just all sit up there on top of the decking, get high, and drink from a flask.
It doesn't sound that bad. Just sitting in the sunshine, having a cold beer, a little bit of work, you know.
I always forget that Tuddle was in the construction industry for a while.
You almost made that
welder.
pivot. I remember when you pulled me aside of the radio station. I don't think we've ever told this story. He pulled me aside of the radio station. And you tell me if I'm wrong on this. I might have a bad memory. But I think your dad sat you down at one point and was kind of giving you the talk about, like, his business, his crane company, right?
Mm-hmm.
And how, like, you could go on to be, like, a crane man, like Landman, the new Yellowstone. You could be crane man, and then you'd be having an uncomfortable conversation with your daughter about semen in the opening episode.
Yeah.
You were going to be the
And you can make a
big-
good living.
You were going to be
Well-
the next big heir to the Volusia County crane. You'd be crane man.
Well, but it was so uncomfortable, you know, like how your parents always want to be supportive, but when you're spinning your wheels in a dead end job for the longest time, they try to go about it in a nice way. They were like, so have you thought about doing something else with your life or whatever? It's always so uncomfortable. I also remember my mom asking me if I was gay after an episode on the Monsters.
Which episode?
We did a lot of gay stuff.
No, it wasn't that. Dirty Jim asked me if I was gay because he never saw me with a woman or I was interested. And then they spent the whole day
Why would Jimmy
doing a
say
date.
that? He should be canceled for that.
Yeah. And my mom, you know how uncomfortable it is?
Why would you say that to a man who's like, why would you
Sign the tape, release
Yeah,
it.
we need to release that tape and then, cause him a
You
real
know
pain in
how
the rump.
comfortable it is for your mom to look you dead in the eye?
I'm pretty sure my dad died thinking I was gay. So I think you're better than me. I think you win.
So, and they spent the day making fun of you because they thought you were gay?
Yeah, but
I mean, your dad probably asked your mom to ask you that because he would have done it a little more forceful, right?
Oh yeah, he would have been like, yeah.
Did your dad ever get mad at any of the stuff that we said or anything? Like he was going to get, axe handle, and then he's going to come down to the radio station and start whipping people's ass?
My mom and dad, did not understand it at first. I remember the first stunt they had a dominatrix. Like I get down all the way to my underwear, and she beat me with a riding crop pit. I think they wanted to see how many clothespins I could put on my face.
I remember
and
this.
my nipples.
I was here for
and
this.
everything.
This is my job. I was a producer for this. It's my job. This
And
is
then
my
I would go
20s.
visit my mom at Brandywine.
Yeah.
And
Your mom made the
her
best
friends.
fried chicken and pies and just food and like the deli there. Oh my God.
Yeah.
God bless her.
You're making a fool out of yourself, and
Yeah.
your parents are listening to this, and
These are hardworking Volusia County folk, and you're over there acting like some sort of flamboyant playboy.
Now get this, and I remember the whole glamour. You remember glamour shots,
I
losing
do.
a bet.
I
You'd
do
have to
remember
go
those
get
pictures.
I was a listener at that time.
Yeah.
I went on UCF's website and I'm like, look.
That's what homeless people do. Go to the library.
I was like, look how gay he is.
No, but my dad
was a different
brought a
time.
little scrapbook, and it was my glamour shots. And one of the guys on the crew was like, "Hey, is that your daughter? I didn't know you had a daughter."
Hey, landman.
Yeah, no, the guy was like, "Is she single?"
Oh, your dad axe handle. He says axe handle. The Mexicans went got the
Yeah.
axe handle. He's gonna take care of business. He took a guy to a jumbo handicap porta john and whacked his nose broken.
My dad burned a porta potty to the ground one time because there was an infestation of crabs going around the job site. And you know those croaker sacks, you know, that the bolts would come in?
Yes.
He would have one of his guys light the end of it, put it down into the toilet, and by the time you were down or up on top of the building, the plastic just started melting. And he was like, we don't have crab problems anymore.
No crabs no more. Oh, that's awesome.
But he burned down a whole portalet.
That's
because
fine.
he kept telling them, you need it. Handle this or I'll handle it.
Yeah, I mean, he got results. he got things done.
What I remember having this when me and Tuddle were working
Oh
together.
God, I have tears coming out of my eyes.
He gave me one of
Holy
his
crap,
dad's
that's funny.
shirts and some sort of like we're proud of our erections.
Yeah.
Crane from
you
Volusia
need to
County.
bring those back. You need to sell those again, dude.
I have a bunch of them, but like when they got the contract for Orange County Public Schools, they made us put magnets over the logo.
Because you're dead on a horny logo. Oh, Crane Man. That's your new character. You're Crane Man. You could have been the Crane King of Volusia County.
But it said Florida Atlantic Ironworks. We're proud of our erections.
Oh, my God.
I had one of those shirts.
Oh, God, that's so good. You need to bring that back. You need, like, I know listeners would buy those, dude. That's hilarious.
They're like Big Johnson shirts back in the day.
I know.
Oh, God bless your dad.
Well, Tuddle, again, where can people hear your podcasts?
You can go to Bubba Army Radio or Bubba Army HQ is where you can find it. They got a new app that will be out January 1st.
Nice.
Where you'll be able to catch out all the content and stuff that we put up. Also on the YouTube channel, you can see the video. I think you guys also have it from the Sofa and Suds.
Yeah, Colton hooked us
event.
up with that. Please thank him again for that. Thank him so much for giving us that content. That is very cool.
And the guys were really, really cool.
Well, you did a
Like-
great job, dude. We appreciate you doing that. And, you know, from all of us here, obviously it goes without saying, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. We can't wait to do this again in 2025, and we hope you have a great year.
All right, guys, as always, though, I know you guys have done a lot for me, and I love you guys tremendously. Tom, I know you're uncomfortable with me saying I love you, so you don't have to say it back.
Yeah,
I
he'll
know you
never
do.
say it. He'll never say it. I'll say it.
Why are
though.
you making it awkward?
I love you
at the end?
too. I love you too.
Wait, come on. Love is a strong.
say it.
Yeah, he thinks love is a bit too strong. He also thinks he's 40. Who needs friends? I heard that the other day. Yeah.
All right, Tuddle.
Well, who says he loves me?
Yeah.
We'll talk to you soon.
See you,
All right.
buddy.
All right, bye. Love you, Tom.
Love you
Bye
too.
bye.
All right.
All right.
Oh.
All right.
That
That's
was
a pretty
that was a good one.
interesting-
That was a good one.
It's,
Man.
Wow, never officially got
Always,
divorced.
yeah. And all those dad stories.
Yeah.
The never officially divorce thing is, did you know that?
So Tuddle's been married longer than I have, and you.
Yeah.
Because he got married before us.
Yeah, I used to tease him about,
Yes.
no, I can't tease him
So
anymore.
he's the longest
married member of the
of the a whack pack or
Yeah.
the R team.
100%. Well, God, I did not know that. That was a shocking revelation.
All right, we will see you tomorrow.
Awesome. Where does that go?
That is January 2nd, 2025. Or is that we put second day?
Yeah, we did January 2nd.
Oh, it's January 3rd, 2025.
Okay. It's the Friday.
Yes.
Got it now. Is that all of our recording?
Today it is, yes.
Well, those were good ass shows. Hey guys, thanks for hanging out with us today. That was super fun. We will see you tomorrow. Is there anything we need to tell them?
No, we'll be on the show or on Twitch.
Normal shit, right? Normal Friday free
around
show?
11:30 on Twitch, and then normal.
Who do we
Friday
have
for-
in tomorrow?
Ross.